Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, hey, hey. Let me get this going. Why is it? I'm just audio. All right. Here we go. What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing tonight? Happy Tuesday. It is February 22nd, 2022. All the twos. Man, we're here. We're live. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I literally stumbled over my intro, but this is episode 89 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am CQ. I am the Pop Culture Warrior. And with me, as always, he's the undisputed co-host champion of the world. He's the man in the bubble, the bubble that I have to fix because I broke it again, because that's just kind of how I do things around here. So give me one quick second and I will fix it. I'm stalling, and he's Mr. Radar, everybody. Say hi, Radar.
Hi, Radar.
Sorry about that, buddy. I broke your bubble. I broke your bubble.
You know what? It's probably because I might have been talking a little bit of shit.
You were talking shit in the green room, and I popped the bubble. I did it on
What'd you say? What'd you say? Talk shit, get hit. I think was the words that fell out of your mouth.
That's right.
So,
learn you something, boy.
Yeah, but it's palindrome week.
So there's that week. Yeah, we got a lot going for us this week. A lot of cool stuff going on. Quick shout out. Hey, everybody. Who we got in the audience? Spanky's in the audience. What's up, Spanky? We got David and Jim. And a fine penis to you, Steven. We can never start the show off on the right foot. You worried me there. You were a minute or two behind. So I'm glad to see you there.
It's the right foot and the wrong penis.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You have all that.
So super huge news, in case you didn't notice from our title today, we've got UFC legend Tito Ortiz joining us later in the show. So stick around for that. It is going to be interesting, to say the least.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be something. But we also got a little something special to start off the show. I'm excited. I'm
going to say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to go on the record for saying this. Mm-hmm. And I know that her and I have had some banter back and forth.
Okay.
She's one of my favorite people that's been on this show.
Wow. 2 years. 2 years doing this. 2 full years. A lot of guests. And definitely one of my favorite people. So I want to preface it. About 2 weeks ago, we had the I almost said like the Comedy Central, the WTF Nation Radio Pop Culture Warrior Roast of CQ, the first ever. God, I hope we don't do it again. Roast of CQ, and now this wonderful person was in the wings, chomping at the bit, ready to go, and we had some technical difficulties in the background. I think we mentioned it enough, but she's here today. I had to boot up a computer from 1999 to ensure that her connection was solid. We sent her an AOL disk. She got it. She put in the numbers and everything. She's got the modem. It's clicking all the like. There's a line that runs from her house all the way to my house just to make sure that we're running. But she's here and she wants her chance to roast CQ. So, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, just buckle up because we're in for one thing. So, I'm going to introduce no further delay. Everybody, the Marine Corps veteran who gives Radar a run for his money, Miss Stephanie Klein. Everybody, the floor is yours, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you. All right, I don't want to keep everyone from Tito Ortiz, so in honor of all your ex-girlfriends, I'm going to keep this short and painful. So, I am glad to be here. Finally, made it fucking work. Like Army IT, I didn't realize that a thing run by veterans was actually going to be run by the Army IT department. So thank you for finally having me. So congrats on your success. I know it's happy belated birthday. I want to say cheers to the man who defies the commonly held notion that talent matters. Yes. I'm also super happy to be here because I love checking in on my friend with the best face for radio. Yeah. When you invited me to first roast you, I was a little worried about insulting you in front of your audience, but I feel like your mom and your wife will forgive me. Also, you only roast the absolute best, right? So at most, it's going to be a light saute for you. I will say, so this one is for Radar. I was pretty worried about you guys becoming super sensitive with all your fame, not being able to take the insults well, that you're going to turn into delicate flowers, more like Marine infantry. But I figure you guys can stick the landing and take it all. So I wanted to point out, the audience can see all these amazing collectibles behind you, all of this badass stuff you get. I really hope that you never played with it, because once your wife figures out that only Joe Rogan makes money podcasting, you're going to need all of that for the divorce. Yeah, I hope Jenny finds out soon. I want to give a big hand to all of the work that CQ puts into this show. I mean, seriously, it takes so much research and work to find and book these celebrities who need community service hours. I mean, truly. When I came on the show a few years ago, I got an automatic email that said, just print this out for your parole officer if needed. So, yeah. So I've known CQ since our stand-up days. We had a comedy class years ago, and he truly was an inspiration. The organization that taught us the class got their trademark motto from CQ. Laugh if it's funny, and laugh even if it's CQ. Yeah. But he really is an inspiration, truly. Like, his jokes and stories show us that you can be super dumb and ugly and still get a government job and a hot wife. I say that out of pure jealousy. I am dumb enough that I too got a government job. Not ugly enough for a hot wife. Still waiting for that. Maybe someday when the wrinkles come. But here's the part where I'm supposed to say, in all seriousness, and then say something nice about you. So here goes. CQ, you're doing amazing things, and I think I speak for all 5 people listening tonight when I say that we are so proud of you and so glad that you did not crash and burn, unlike your Patreon page. Yes. So if you're here in the audience and you got booze with you, raise a glass for my final toast so I can get out of your way for Tito Ortiz. To CQ, may you always be more successful and famous than I will be. But at least I'll be able to flip 2 people off at the same time.
Thank you. Well done. Well done, Miss Stephanie Klein. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Hold on. I've got to do a feelings check. Yeah, we're still good. We're still good. That was good. That was good. I liked it. She
brought the heat.
She brought the heat, Radar. Did she stick the landing? What are we giving her on
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. It was great.
Judges,
all around. I was
judges say?
Yeah.
You're getting big kudos in the chat, Stephanie. So a lot of people laughing. They love it. So Jim says my OnlyFans is doing great though. So, it's Hey, you take what you can get.
You're not sending out VHS tapes.
Yeah.
So you're
looking a bit grainy there, Steph. Are you eating a healthy diet? Because there's a little staticky. I'm making sure you're good. Everything good. do you want to? I asked you this before, and I'm gonna throw you in the spot. Do you want to plug any social media? Do you want to? I'm giving you the chance, because then later people are like, "Oh, we tried to find her, we can't find her." Where can people find more of your stuff, man?
Oh, Jesus! Do not make me do more technology. As Radar said, we are working on a foot pics only compilation on VHS. 3 weeks from now, Radar will be selling them.
Jesus Christ. Sorry. Anyway, so yes, if you'd like to find, I think you can send like a check. Is it check or money order to her PO box to get a copy of the a copy of the VHS of compilation of feet pics. So is that like
you videotape 5G world?
Did you videotape?
Videotape. Can't even. It's just picture that we're just cutting and pasting.
Yes.
Together onto VHS.
Right. So you drew pictures of feet and then you recorded it on VHS and you're sending that tape out to people. I love it.
Spoiler alerts.
It's retro. No, I like it. It's very retro. It's in vogue at the at the time.
$9.99. Veteran discount, 15%.
15% off. Very nice.
Ooh, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, usually you just get 10. But all right, Stephanie, I won't keep you any longer. You were awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time out and doing this. And I know you put a lot of work in it. I really do appreciate it. I know roasting is such it's a stretch for all comedians, And I think you got a career. You're the next Nikki Glazer. You got a career in roasting. So you got my vote.
Blood, and I'm in for it. So best of luck. I'm going to switch over so I can now become a fan, and I cannot wait for Tito Ortiz. So
you're going to wait about 45 minutes, but thank you for coming on, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you for filling the first 15 minutes of the show. We needed that.
Yeah, we needed the content.
At least we got 15 minutes of funny in. Thanks for that.
You're going to be the thumbnail, just so you know. We're going to make you
I'll be back when Tom Cruise is on.
Yes, yeah. I want to bring you back for a special segment after the release of Doctor Strange 2. We're going to do a whole segment on Tom Cruise as Iron Man. How about that?
I'm in.
All right. I appreciate you, Stephanie. Thanks for calling in. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Everybody say bye to Stephanie. Bye, Stephanie. Bye, see ya. All right. And we're back. Did I lose you again, buddy? Where'd you go? There you are.
There he is.
There you is.
There's me.
That's you.
That is me.
Oh, my goodness.
God, she's funny.
Oh, man.
I'm a fan.
God says he loves the extended roast of the CQ. That's awesome. Yeah. Did she hear echoes? Dude. All right, good callback. See, in the comedy biz, we call that a callback. Excellent callback, Bree. You are on it. That was fun. Wow, where do we go from there? So we all just gonna sit tight for the next 44 minutes and wait for Tito Ortiz to call in?
I feel like there's some things going on in the world, but I don't want to talk about those. So let's talk about something funny.
That was great, man. She killed it, dude. I'm bummed that we couldn't make it happen as part of the show, but kudos to her for being so willing to come out here and take another stab at it, especially out of the rhythm of kind of what we were doing, and that's hard to do. Right. So big kudos.
No, she did awesome. She, like I said before I went on, she went on. She's hilarious, and one of the funniest people we've had on, and personable, and I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
without a doubt. All right. So what you guys are here for? Some pop culture news. Last week
is there any?
First of all, dude, come on.
What's going on in the world? What's going on in the pop culture world?
Come on, bro. Do you know who you're talking to? Last week we talked a lot about movies. There was a lot of stuff coming out of the Super Bowl and trailers and everything. So I'm gonna switch it up, and let's switch to shoot. I don't know, my sounds are all weird today. That's weird. My sounds are weird. They're not wanting to participate. That's okay. Let's see. What do we have? Why did I lose your camera now too? Strange.
Dude, it's all messed up.
Yeah,
you're all messed up.
Yeah, all my stuff's messed up today. I don't know what's going on.
Whatever. People know what I look like, and they don't want to see me anyway, so that's fine.
Nobody wants to see you.
I don't blame them.
All right. About time travel, but you hated it when you. That's good, Jim. He says, I was going to tell you a joke about time travel, but you hated it when I said it. That's good. That's good. That's good. I like it. I like it. All right. So in TV news, and with the I was gonna say not the severed head. That sounds horrible. The
bobblehead.
Well, no. Oh. You're the voice with the voice of Radar for comment.
I'm the ghost of Radar's past.
Ghost of Radar's past. Oh Jesus, man! Nothing seems to be working today. That's okay though. We're gonna make it work.
You know what? I didn't work today either because it was like -26. So I want everyone to think about that next time. Like, we should move to South Dakota. Do not. It's cold here.
First story. Ready for your first story?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Do you ever play the game BioShock? You ever play that game, or do you know of it? Underwater.
I've heard of it. I didn't really get into it, but I played a couple times, and my buddies did.
Yeah, great. I mean, it's a legendary title.
Yes.
Obviously, they sequelized it a bunch, and the sequels were meh. But the original was by far one of the. I mean, just for an original game, was so awesome. Little sisters and big daddies, and they were great. Well, let me pop up this picture right here. Beep. After years of working on the screen rights deal, Take-Two Interactive, the creators of the game, and Netflix have partnered up to make a BioShock film. And rumor has it, they are potentially trying to, and I guess this is the way it is nowadays, they're trying to develop a cinematic universe based on the game. So, because what movie is now not part of a cinematic universe? I mean, really?
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, it's all of them. Yeah. But fucking Yellowstone's doing it.
Man, you are obsessed with that show, but I dig it. Man.
Well, it's good. It's a good show, but I was just there's been like there's a prequel out for it, and there's like all kinds, but they're all like they literally said we were trying to follow that Marvel model and have a lack of a better term, a cinematic universe of this universe they got going on.
Yeah,
probably not gonna have like as much of the sci-fi stuff in it. Like, I don't think there's gonna be wizards and shit in it, but
there's gonna be wizards and shit.
You know what? That'd be fucking like a wizard cowboy, like on a horse. That'd be fucking funny.
I would love it. They just start like, well, because that was kind of like Westworld. I was just gonna say, like, you mix like old country cowboy with like something sci-fi, and I went, oh yeah, that's Westworld. Like, that's literally Westworld.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, no real details have come out yet of it. This was just announced. I dig it, man. I dig it. I think that is a world that can be explored. I don't think all video games can make for great narrative storytelling as far as movies and TV. That is something I think would be a great movie. I don't think you can do the BioShock game as a movie, if that makes sense, but using those elements, the Big Daddy, the Little Sisters, underwater rapture, like that whole, like, it could be almost like an origin story of how everything fell apart and how all this kind of became. I think that could work. I think it could be a really, really kick-ass movie. And with what Netflix has been doing, man, they're pumping out some bangers of movies lately. Like, I
hate you right now. I fucking hate you right now. Because there's clips of you saying, well, Netflix is going to die. Netflix is fucking bullshit. I'm like, dude, they're putting out original content that's really good right now. And you're like, doesn't fucking matter. Disney Plus is going to take all their shit back. And HBO Max is going to take all their shit back. I'm going to take all their shit back. And Netflix is going to fucking wither on the vine. Basically what you said, right? Am I wrong?
I mean, no, you're not wrong.
Okay.
I stand by my statement. I do, but in fact, this to me furthers.
I'm gonna give you an option out. I'm gonna do what Biden didn't do to Putin. I said they have to continue putting out quality content in order to stay viable.
Agreed. Well, obviously,
and they are doing that. They are doing that. They are losing a lot of their content. They are losing things to Disney Plus and to HBO Max and Peacock and whatever else. Mm-hmm. They are losing that content, and they are doing a really, really good job of filling those voids with original content that's good.
I'm not going to backpedal on this. Okay. I hold firm to my statement. And in fact, I think this furthers my statement because they're doubling down on this original content, because they're dumping. They've got movies by The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, they're throwing truckloads of money. And I feel like it's a desperate attempt to stay relevant.
I don't know if it's a desperate attempt. I think they're they are doing what they have to do in order to stay relevant. I don't think it's a desperate attempt.
Don't get me twisted, because I do think they're putting out quality content.
Yeah.
My question is, what are they going to put out when they run out of money? Because they're backing up like dump trucks full of money to land this stuff.
They're making it back on return. They are. And I really think there's going to be more subscription pricing to it. Yeah. I think what Netflix really needs to invest in, and I say this because I'm one of the only people that I know that actually pays for a Netflix account. They need to figure out a way to like keep it where, like, basically there's more than one account per city. You know what I mean? Like, they need to figure out a way to, like, I don't know, like only have like 5 devices per account or something like that. Right, they need to figure out a way to wrangle that in. I'm sure there's some tech ways to do that. Yeah. But I think even if they just could manage to do that, they'd have a lot better luck with it. And I think they're doing some good stuff. They're doing well overseas as well, are they not?
They're doing all right, yeah. I think who was it that said it? Jorge. He says, I love the Korean series. And I think you're talking about Squid Game. That's where I think they make their money back.
Yeah.
Because they got that show for pennies. They got that show for pennies. Tiger King was enough, like they bought it for measly dollars.
Yep.
And those become the big hits. Because like Red Notice comes out, of course it does well. It's got, The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. Of course it does well.
Yep.
But like, is it really talked about the way Tiger King and Squid Game were? No. But
again though too, okay, how many people honestly when they get a Squid Game or they get a Tiger King, how many people do you think that actually brings in versus, you know what I mean? Like, everyone who saw Tiger King already had Netflix. You're not really making it, and they don't.
But I think the word of mouth, dude, you got to see this show, bro. It's got tigers and meth and gay,
right?
Dudes blowing his head off and all that stuff. And I think they're like, oh shit, well, I gotta borrow my sister's account for that.
Exactly. I had to get that.
I gotta log back in to my sister's account.
I shouldn't have said words about it. Okay, even if we have 5 devices, I got like more than that in my house.
Yeah, I got more than 5 devices within arm's reach at this moment. That is a legit statement. All right, moving on.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, here's a good one. Do you know? Say we're gonna continue on the game franchise bandwagon here. Do you know Fallout? I mean, Fallout is a historic game franchise.
Yes.
Going way back and even the stumbles and the good stuff and the bad stuff. But here we got this. It was announced Amazon is doing a Fallout TV series, and they just announced who their lead will be. It is Walton Goggins. You know who Walton Goggins is? He's been in so many things.
He was in that Santa Claus one.
He's been in so many things. So many.
He was in Fat Man. Yeah.
He was in Fat Man. He was in a ton
Fat Man was a good show. Did you watch that?
It was a good movie. Good movie.
Yeah, that was a good show.
It was a good movie.
I enjoyed that. Movie show. Whatever. It was on television.
So the details around what character he'll portray haven't been released. A lot of people saying that he might do like what's it called? When the guys get all radiated, not Gollum. Fuck. What's the term for them in the game? They're like zombie-ish, but they're not zombies. They're
I know
something with it. Ghouls. Jesus Christ, I couldn't think. They're ghouls. Some people are hinting that he might be a really good, actor to play like a ghoul in the series. It's the first actor who's been announced for the role since the show was first announced back in 2020. The TV series from Amazon and Kilter Films is meant to adapt the hit video game series with the same name. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there was any other good news coming out of that. Yeah, it's Ghoul is who everybody's saying that he might be playing. ghouls are formerly humans that have succumbed to various degrees of the radiation from all the nuclear bombs that went off. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's Amazon that's doing this, and they've had a string of hits, and they've had a string of misses.
Absolutely.
So
I was just going to say that. And in all fairness, all of them have.
Yeah, true.
A lot of the streaming services really have. And I don't, like I said, when it comes to the originals, how many of them are bought, how many are produced by them, how many whatever. But there's been some really good ones and some really bad ones and a few in the middle. But it kind of seems to go either way.
Yeah.
It really does. There's not a whole lot of middle ones that are like, okay, all right. Yeah. There's like for every Stranger Things, there's 5 fucking bullshit ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like Amazon, like I'm thinking Amazon, the big ones are like Jack Reacher. Not Jack Reacher. Is it Jack Reacher? No. What's the Tom Clancy one? Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan with John Krasinski.
They had
that was a big
The Man
one.
in the High Castle.
Man in the High Castle was good.
That was a big
Fabulous. Was it Marvelous Miss Maisel? That's like a huge show for Amazon. So they've got their big hits.
And the one thing that I really enjoy about Amazon, and I have since it first came out, or I really started using it. I've had an Amazon Prime account for a decade, right, or better, and not really knowing about their TV service. But after I kind of started, Prime's my go-to, honestly, because I have other stations attached to it. Right, like I've got like the History channels attached to it. For a long time, HBO was attached to it. I have it's like Motor Trend or something, and it's got like Top Gear and all that stuff. So it's attached to my Prime. So a lot of the stuff that I actually want to watch is on Prime.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only thing I watch on Disney Plus is Marvel stuff. If it wasn't for Marvel, I wouldn't have Disney Plus. Well, I got kids. They like to watch bullshit.
Yeah, but Star Wars is on there. It's pretty good. There's some other stuff.
I kind of like The Mandalorian. I'll probably sit down and watch it now, but
it's good.
When I have like a down weekend, I sit down and I watch the whole thing. I kind of binge watch that. I'm not like how I am with the Marvel stuff, like Hawkeye, for example. I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for the next one to come out. I'm not that way with the Star Wars stuff.
Sure.
It's not.
If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I mean,
I enjoy it. I watch it. I watch Mandalorian. I like it. The Book of Boba Fett, I haven't watched any of them yet. I'll probably just, I don't know, in a couple weeks when soccer's over, I'll sit down and I'll watch the whole thing.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it then. So a release, just to finish out this one, a release date for the series has not been announced yet. So we'll keep you up to date as news comes out. Jody in the chat said, has anybody played Ghost of, I can never pronounce that one, Tsushima? Thinking about getting it for my kids. Now, I haven't played it personally, but I've watched a ton of footage on it. I know a lot of people have played it, have raved about it. I think it was like one of the Game of the Year contenders. And we had, who was it? We had, my God, I'm drawing a blank. What's her name? Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm drawing a blank right now. We had her on the show, and she was one of the voice actors that did for Ghost of Tsushima. God, what's her name? My God, Lauren Tom. Jesus Christ. There it is. Lauren Tom was on the show. She did one of the voices for it, and gave us a great. So go back if you haven't seen that episode. That was a great episode, and she was a great guest, and we talked all about it. So yeah, there's your answer for that. What else we got? Couple more. Ah, yes. I'm gonna pop up this picture. So speaking of Netflix, and we talked about everybody pulling their shit back. It was just announced. Everything from Daredevil through The Defenders and Punisher are going to be leaving Netflix on February 28th.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen these shows on Netflix, and most of them are worth it, you got about 6 days from
to binge
this
watch
moment
all of them.
To binge watch, and each of them have 2 or 3 seasons. So you have just enough time. If you start now, you'll have just enough time to see all of them before they disappear.
I watched what's the girl?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. That was medium. I didn't hate it. It was all right.
I loved the first season. I really did.
Yeah, the first season was way better.
Really drew on that whole idea of like PTSD and Survivor's Guild and like all these elements. It was delicious. I loved it.
Yep, it was the first episode. The first season was really good. And then it kind of, I don't know, it was all right.
It was all right.
Wasn't anything to write home about. It was fine. But now, are those going to migrate to Disney Plus, or are they just going to go away?
So,
because Marvel owns the rights to those, right?
That's correct. So, okay. They're gonna go away.
Yes,
they're gonna go away. There's no announcement as of now if they will be picked up by Disney Plus. A lot of people speculate that they will be, because if you've been paying attention, Disney Plus originally only put stuff under like the Marvel Studios banner, but ever since the Fox acquisition and a lot of these other acquisitions, they've been slowly kind of dropping other stuff in there that wasn't actually part of the Marvel Studios run.
And it'll say like X-Men Legacy movies and stuff like that. So I'm sure it'll probably say like Marvel Legacy stuff or whatever.
Exactly. These will be Marvel Legacy shows. The other rumor was that, remember that Marvel, or I should say Disney, because Disney owns Marvel, Disney also owns Hulu. So there's been speculation, like you've seen, was it Hitmonkey on Hulu, which was great. If you haven't seen Hitmonkey, oh my God, it's so good. It is so good.
I didn't see it.
So good. Ridiculous, but so good. So they're saying that Marvel is considering putting their edgier stuff that's not Disney Plus material onto Hulu. So
that
like,
makes sense.
When they've
been trying to keep Disney Plus like PG-13, right?
Yeah, they've kind of trying to keep that median going. So like the rumor is that they eventually want to do an MCU Deadpool, like a rated R Deadpool, but then the question is, does he end up on Disney Plus? Which probably not. So they're looking for like a dumping ground, or like when they do that. Yeah, well, but I don't know, because now they're doing Moon Knight, and Moon Knight's supposed to be like really, they're saying it's going to be very brutal. The word that keeps coming up in a lot of the interviews is like, this show is brutal. So,
I wonder with that if, because I could see putting something like The Punisher on Hulu, right? Jessica Jones, all those, and because they are a little bit more, they're a little bit more bloody, a little bit more brutal, a little bit more physical.
They deal with, they tackle some more hard hitting issues.
Yep. You know? I can see those going. Themes. I can see those going to Hulu, right? But you're gonna take say the new Deadpool movie. Deadpool 3 comes out, whatever they call it, might just be Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Do you take that from the theater and put it right to Hulu, and not the Disney Plus? Because Disney Plus is where you have your big name stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Same with Moon Knight. If Moon Knight's going to be,
it's all changing, man. Like the rules are changing. Rules are changing. You know, Spider-Man.
I'll say, if we go back and look at stuff from when we were teenagers, right? Stuff that was rated R then is nothing compared to what's rated R now. You know what I mean? As far as
the truth. That is the truth. As far as
curse words and blood and violence and all that. So I mean, Deadpool really pushes the limit on that, even where it's kind of like, wow, I can get away with that. He's pretty nasty, right?
Yeah.
But looking at violent stuff, do you say something like Saving Private Ryan, for example? When that first came out, was like, oh my God, that's so bloody. How could you have that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's nothing. Now it's whatever. Band of Brothers, same kind of thing. There's some pretty gruesome stuff in there, right? And now and that's mainstream, basically. It's not even really seen as being that far out there, right?
Yeah.
So is that kind of how they're going to? It's hard to push all the way to Deadpool, but to Moon Knight, if Moon Knight's physical and a little bit gruesome, like, is that kind of the way things are going? Where it's like, okay, it's okay for Disney Plus now. Like,
I think, you're saying like maybe they're testing the waters.
Yep.
Maybe Moon Knight's like, let's tiptoe, see where the line is, right?
Yep.
Because when the backlash comes, they're like, Moon Knight's so bloody and violent, and they're like, well, we're gonna be dropping everything on Hulu now. Like,
yep, exactly. Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know, throwing that weight out there. And like I said, it's not going to be as bad as Deadpool, right? So if this one's well received, they be like, well, let's push it a little bit further with the next one. Let's push it a little bit. Like, I mean, okay, well, Hawkeye, for example.
Mhm.
Hawkeye was kind of a wholesome little film. I
Yeah.
mean, there was some fighting and some violence in it, whatever. But the story and the being wrapped around the holidays, and you're bringing this new character in, and everyone's like all kind of, it's very mentorish and very, very warm,
Yes.
right?
It was family fun.
It really was
Entertainment,
for
yeah.
a Marvel property. It was
Sure.
it was really tame,
Mhm.
right?
Agreed.
Like to kind of transition that into Moon Knight, which is going to be more violent.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shift. It's a
It is,
bit of a shift.
which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, we violence has kind of been normalized in our society anyway.
Right.
Like I said, going from 20 years ago when I was a kid to, well, more than 20, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, speaking of rated R, Stephanie in the chat said, speaking of rated R, don't forget to buy my feet pics. So
Yes.
just thought that she's in the pop culture chats. Appreciate you, Stephanie.
Hit us up for some feet pics.
We'll drop the link below.
I have the same problems. The problems you have with your hands, I have that with my feet. I'm missing toes, so they would know it's me. Cool thing is though,
Christ.
I get 20% off pedicures. So,
Oh my God. God damn it.
I am missing half my biggie toes on both feet.
All right. Moving on.
You're welcome.
Moving on. That's more than we needed to know. This story hits in the feels. It's a beloved show that was around and got canceled, and then was around and then got canceled. Well, it's coming back. You heard here first. Futurama is being revived. They're coming back. They're bringing the whole crew, and it's going to land on Hulu. Speaking of Hulu,
Of course, it's Hulu.
there is one caveat.
Oh,
One big caveat. And this was, this image was the official image that was released with the announcement. And I wonder if it was a bit of a dig. One of the only people not currently set to return is John DiMaggio, who voiced Bender, the robot. He's the only one that hasn't confirmed to return. So I
we've
wonder.
had some really good voice actors on the show. I bet someone could fill that spot.
I was going a different way with
Pop Culture Warrior. We can fill that spot for them.
I went a total different way with that. Oh my God.
What were you thinking?
I was
Go
like,
ahead.
I thought you were gonna say, like, we've had some really good voice sound. I bet we could like get him on here to talk some shit. Like to like
we could do that too.
Spill the beans.
Either way you want to go.
Spill the tea, as it were.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think John Ross can probably do a Bender. He's pretty busy with the whole Donald Duck thing anyway.
Daniel Ross. Joe Gadet, who we had on last week. Yeah, last week.
He didn't do a Bender though. I wonder if he
didn't do a Bender.
You know what?
Bender with the voice of
follow
Arnold
Daniel.
Schwarzenegger.
I follow both them on I almost said Tinder. I don't follow them on Tinder. I follow them on TikTok.
Busted. You're following their Tinder profiles. Busted.
Anyway, whatever. Daniel Ross's OnlyFans is kind of pricey. It's really weird. Anyway,
he only does it in the voice.
Feet pics with a Donald Duck voice. It's kind of weird, but
yeah, it's strange.
But anyway, their TikToks are hilarious. If you're not following them on TikTok, you should be.
They're so good.
But I don't know, dude.
What do you think of Futurama? And they're talking about recasting. They're not just taking Bender away. They're recasting the voice. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I don't know, dude.
You know, here's the thing.
Okay, here's where I'm going with this.
Sure,
okay,
go for it.
Whenever you take something that's kind of
beloved,
when you want to, what's that?
Beloved.
It is beloved, but it's also kind of a staple of like where we were at when we were kids. And you take something like that, people have certain expectation for that show, right? So which way do you take it? Do you completely recast it, completely new voice, completely different character almost, just in the same body, right? Or do you try to get someone that's as close as possible to the original voice to make it as close? I mean, then you're kind of not doing it the same justice because it's not going to be the same, right? You take a character like we're talking about Daniel Ross and Donald Duck, right? That is a very, 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 that is a paradigm character. He has to sound the way he sounds, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
Is Bender that way? Because you could have me fucking voice Bender if you wanted. You know what I mean?
I think Bender is a voice that is pivotal. I think it's different if, he's the 5th lead, 6th lead, 7th lead. But if you can say the series of Futurama, it's like Fry, Leela, Bender. Like that's the core 3.
Now, are the other people coming back?
All of them. Billy West, Katie Seagal, Tress McNeil, Maurice LaMarche, Phil Lamar, David Herman, and speaking of who we just talked about a few minutes ago, Lauren Tom, who did the voice of Amy, which, by the way, if you missed that episode, go back and watch it. She did talk about, I quizzed her. I said, hey, is there any chance you're going to bring back Connie from King of the Hill? I said, is King of the Hill coming back? I didn't think to ask if Futurama would ever come back.
She probably couldn't have said words.
But here's the thing. She said, go back and watch that episode. She goes, nah, I don't think King of the Hill is going to come back, but I am working on something I'm not supposed to talk about that I think would make a lot of people happy.
Yep.
It had to have been this. It
Did
had
you see what's
to
in
have
the
been.
chat?
What's that?
You see what's in the
Which
chat
one?
right now?
Which one?
Bender's new catchphrase. Bye, see ya.
All right, meatbags. Bye. See ya.
Bye. I'll see you. Oh God, I should be Bender. God damn it.
Oh man, Monica.
I'll shoot off an email in the morning.
Yeah. We'll get our people in touch. Monica in the PCW chat said that speaking on John DiMaggio, that he thought everyone should be paid more, and that wound up being a stalemate position because everyone else signed on and he didn't. My bet is that the new voice is the result of a system upgrade. Oh, because he's a robot.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. It's Bender, dude. You have a lot of also too. I wonder with these shows. And all these animated shows. South Park's one. Futurama now is coming back. You got Simpsons. You got all these really long running. All these really long running shows that they're not kind of going into the next generation a little bit.
I'm envisioning not like Monica says, not a system upgrade. I imagine first episode. How many shows have done like recycled dialogue? They got like 10 years worth of dialogue they can use. Absolutely. They recycle some dialogue to make him sound regular, and then something happens. He gets crushed, right? Yeah. And they have to rebuild him, and they don't make those old voice boxes anymore. So they got to give him a new voice box.
And his new voice box sounds just like Radar Basia.
Sounds just like Radar from Pop Culture Warrior.
I'll work for cheap. Whatever that guy was going to do
working behind the
scenes
for
half.
You've been working behind the scenes, haven't you? You already laid down.
Whatever that guy was going to get paid, I'll do it for half with my shit Amazon microphone. How's that sound?
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I do believe he'll come back. I do believe it. I can't imagine.
There's got to be a lot of pressure on him from all of the from all the other old cast and everything. And like I said, when it comes to those contract negotiations, though, some of those guys are real fucks about it.
Yeah.
Not to be a dick, but your show was dead, dude. It was dead. It was fucking gone. And then someone's like, we should bring it back. We really would like you to be part of the new project. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. Take the fucking money or don't, dude. We'll find someone else.
Sorry, I'm giggling over here to myself because it looks like
we'll get Frank Caliendo. He can sound like anybody. It doesn't matter, dude. Yeah. Get that dude on there.
Stephanie's in the chat still roasting me. So
good. Good for her. I should get on that chat.
If you're missing the PCW, the Pop Culture Warrior chat is fire. Anyway.
But genuinely, I think it's a good idea, and I'm happy for that. Well, it's exciting. We'll see it.
Yeah. Jorge, great comment, man. He says, hope it will be great. Animaniacs reboot was really well done. Yeah, man. The Animaniacs, they did a good job bringing it back.
It was.
New generate, like give just enough fan service for the OG fans, and then but make it fresh for a new generation. It's time to pass that on. We can't cling to that.
That's what I mean, like with all these other shows, because for multiple reasons. The Simpsons has been going for what, 30 years now?
Oh my God, Jesus, yeah.
Something like that, 25, 30 years.
Oh yeah, I think they're over that by now.
I mean, how long can you keep these guys going? Right?
The contract says a couple more years. Gotcha.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, eventually, like, you cannot sound like Bart Simpson anymore.
Yeah.
Right? You just gotta, like, so these have to, at some point, you either need to replace the voice actors to someone who sounds like Bart Simpson, or have it evolve a little bit. Right? Yeah. Oh, this is now, you know what? Homer dies in a nuclear power plant explosion, and Bart's all irradiated, and this is Bart's kid, the three-toed fucking whatever.
Jesus Christ. Know what I mean? That's where you went to immediately? Like, that's the nuclear meltdown, explosions, and
whatever, dude. It's a Simpsons. The first place. Go whatever. And then they can just keep telling the future from Bart's kid's perspective.
Sure.
Or something.
Sure.
Bart and Lisa have a kid, and it grows up in Springfield, Arkansas, or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Fucking killing me, Radar. You're killing me.
Hey, I'm full of fucking ideas, dude.
You're crushing it, man. You're on fire. Man on fire.
Yep.
Nick in the chat says, my son yelled, "Hello, nurse," at my boss on Zoom, so I'm regretting binge watching the Animaniacs with him.
Yep.
You're doing it right, Nick.
You are.
Good for you.
I would give you a raise, but I'm not your boss.
You're doing it right. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. You're doing it right. Scott said, "Yeah, the dude, he appraised his own. So talking about John again, he appraised his own value. If he doesn't think he's getting paid enough, good for him for wanting more. Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. And I'm not even like whatever, dude. When it comes, I promise, no matter what money he makes from that, it's more than I make a year. So I'm not gonna fucking fight about it."
The more he wants, the difference, that delta, the more he wants is probably more than you make in a year.
Probably. Absolutely.
From where he's getting to where he wants to be. Like, that's a crazy amount of money. These guys, I mean, the big guys really rake in dough. Okay, more stories. Running out of time. We got a big guest coming in here soon, so I want to clear the bases, but one more for you. Let's see. Talking about streaming services, Peacock made a announcement.
Oh,
this is gonna be interesting. Throw this up here. Peacock has announced a sequel to the hit animated film Megamind. The sequel will take form of a series, so it's a sequel series. Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City. It sees the titular character making the shift from supervillain to superhero. All of his brain bots will be along to help chronicle the journey as he becomes part problem solver, part influencer. So there you go. Here we go. Here's the synopsis. Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City. Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City is the series follow-up to the hit movie, where Megamind goes from being a supervillain and the scourge of Metro City, or as he pronounced it, Metrocity, to a superhero where he's learning on the job. He'll be bringing the audience along for the ride as Megamind's trusty brainbots will be recording everything, making him the world's first superhero influencer. All right. Thoughts on a sequel series?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And I kind of feel like that Marvel's went that way with a couple of their properties. Really? I mean, honestly. And I don't hate it. I think it'll be fine if it's done well.
Yeah. Now
I think I wonder when they do these things, when they go from we're going to take we'll take Loki, for example. Okay. There's more runtime on Loki or WandaVision or whatever than there would be in a full-length feature film. Right, you can delve into these character developments a little more, but price-wise, I wonder how much. Loki had a lot of special effects in it. Some of it wasn't the greatest, but it was. I mean,
I thought they were good.
It was fine. It was fine. If it was on the big screen, though, I don't think it would have passed muster. If you would have watched it in IMAX or some shit like that, I don't think it was quite up to that quality.
Okay.
It was really good.
Fair.
But it wasn't. It wasn't what you'd see in Endgame.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But cost-wise, production cost-wise, I wonder how much that differs. Now for an animated show, you don't have the on screen or on location things. It's all in house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to do a 12-episode season, 9-episode season for an hour-long show, that's 9 hours of runtime, give or take, right? How much more does that cost than a 2.5-hour feature film? How much return are you going to get off that? So do you have to cut corners on that to make it production-wise viable? But I don't know. I think it'll be good. My kids love that show, by the way.
Movie. Yep.
The movie. It's a show. It's all a show. If you go watch it, it's a show.
It's going to the show. I'm going to the show.
Right.
Monica had
when my dad buys something, it's still an album. Okay. I just bought that album. Yeah, you bought it on your iPad. Your iPod.
Monica had a great question. Will the same voice actors return? That is not in the announcement. It wasn't explicitly said, which is makes me a little questionable. Because if you're gonna get, George Clooney and who was it, Will Ferrell and David Cross that were in it, if you're gonna get them, you're gonna announce it. So the fact that they didn't announce it,
maybe it's still in talks or something, or
they did announce that Alan Schoolcraft and Brett Simons are back as executive producers on the project, and they're the ones that wrote the original movie back in 2010.
Right.
So you have the team confirmed from the original. Talent is still up for debate. So,
and yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
it's hard to say, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Voice actors, hey, they need to come to us. We know all the voice actor people.
we know we got all the people. We got all the people.
How come CQ and Radar keep it? Just that fucking Mega Mind sounds just like Radar.
Yeah,
he does. I'll see you.
I'll see you. All right, welcome back, Radar.
Hey, you're bringing me back.
Hey,
Yay, hi, there's me again.
Yes. So super excited, guys. We are getting to the top of the hour. I'm gonna be a little honest. I don't know if he's
what?
We're gonna see. Here's the thing. Typically, as these conversations are happening behind the scenes, it's like, yeah, we'll be on, and then there's a confirmation. The last I heard from them was yesterday morning. I have not heard anything since then. Now, we confirmed the time, we confirmed the location, we confirmed how to get in. And I even gave my cell phone number. I was like, hey, if there's any issues, man, just text me. Hit me up. I got nothing. And
there's literally nothing we can do because it's Tito fucking Ortiz. What are we going to go fucking say words to him?
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
We'll be like, hey, bro, where you at, bro?
Where you at, bro? And then next week you'll see Radar 2 black eyes because Tito Ortiz fucking...
through the screen. He's like, I can imagine he goes, smash your face in the camera, and you're just gonna go, okay.
yeah, because he would probably show up at my door and just destroy me in front of my friends and family.
He said so. So we're gonna toss to a break. We do about 10-minute break, and so go, hit the head, smoke them if you got them, whatever it is you got to do, and fingers crossed when we return. We'll have, because I'm looking at the green room right now, and Mr. Ortiz ain't there yet. I'm looking.
Man up, Radar. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess if someone's gonna punch my face in, it might as well be Tito fucking Ortiz.
It's like if my head's gonna explode, it might be from Tito. It might as well be from Tito Ortiz's.
I'll tell my friends. All my friends will show up and can hang out while Tito beats me up, and maybe we'll put it on pay-per-view. Oh, that can be our OnlyFans. People like seeing Tito Ortiz beat people up. He gets paid money to beat people up.
You see all these like celebrity fights? You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna do like the WTF Nation Radio celebrity fight where it's gonna be like Radar versus Tito Ortiz and CQ versus Mike Tyson. And we're like, well, I guess we're all going to die now.
Remember when David Hasselhoff was like passed out in a cheeseburger?
Oh my God. Yes.
I thought that was going to be me for the show, not get beat up by Tito Ortiz.
Yes. All right. Yes, they will pay to watch that happen. I know.
Absolutely.
We'll send out links. Yes.
Good thing I'm in his weight class. I'm not near built like him, but we probably weigh about the same.
About 205, man. Hey,
fuck! I got him. I'm 225 right now.
Like, I got him by weight. I got him. He's 6'2" with a 75-inch reach, but I got him by weight.
5'8" and a 75-inch waist. What's up?
I got him on weight. So I'm gonna tell him, hey Tito, my boy Radar says he got you. Like he's got you on weight. There's no way it's not a fair fight. So, all right, guys, we're gonna toss to a commercial break. It's not a commercial break.
It's supper time.
It's a break. We're gonna take a break.
Yep.
And when we get back, fingers crossed. I'm confident. Yes. When we come back from break, we'll be talking with Tito Ortiz. So we'll see you guys right after the break. Say bye, Radar.
Bye, Radar.
Laters.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. So, an update as things happen. As they do. Radar, welcome back.
Hi.
Things happen the way they do, and that's okay. So Tito is just running a tad bit behind, and he has assured us that he can make it about 20 minutes. So 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. He'll be joining us. God bless him. Literally was driving, pulled off to the side of the road to connect, and was like, I'll do it from here. And I'm like, nah, I just get home, be safe. We don't want any car accidents or wrecks or anything like that. Like, be home, get safe. Once you're there, call in, and we'll roll it. We'll roll with what we got. So he was very nice to pull off on the side of the road to try to connect and do the thing. And I'm like, no, this is, I want to have a good interview and not worry about his safety or the quality of a cell phone connection. But God bless him. He's probably out there training, doing what he does, and I don't know, fighting bad guys. I don't know what is this is what we're going to talk about. What do you do? What's an average day for Tito?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, dude.
I want to learn. These are the pressing questions that everyone wants to know. So if you guys have...
You know where he's at? He's on his way to beat the shit out of me for talking shit about him. That's what he's doing.
Probably. He's like, I had to get in my car real quick because
I got to go beat up Radar.
Right. So if you guys do have questions for Tito, make sure you throw them in the chats and we will get to them. I even had, and this has always been an open invitation. I've always said, if you yourself want to ask Tito Ortiz a question, you can record it, audio or video, and send it to me. I'll use it. And you yourself can ask Tito Ortiz or whoever the guest is the question. I had the first taker. We have an audience member who recorded themselves and sent in a question, and I'm going to play it for Tito so they can ask their question themselves. Unfortunately, well, I guess he might be able to see it. But I was worried because he might only hear it or I don't know. Well, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, all right.
Because Radar, you see me seeing you seeing me, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
I can see the same thing that's on
that the audience sees.
The audience sees.
There it is.
Yes.
That's what
now, but I can see me too.
Yeah.
Like we have a split screen.
Well, because you're seeing your own screen and then you're seeing what the audience sees. Yes.
I think I can turn that off.
You
Pretty
could.
sure about it.
You can disable it. I could actually do it too. I can control that too. But anyway, so while Mr. Tito Ortiz is taking his safe time to get home, which we're okay with.
Yes,
I want
absolutely be safe, sir.
Be safe. Be home. Get home safe. God, like you know how shitty it would feel if it's like Tito Ortiz, major car wreck. Like the cop is picking up the phone and it's like me going like, is he okay? Like
the cop calls in. Hey,
yeah, it's like
you the next to
reporting live from the side of the road. My God, horrible. No, we're gonna talk about that. Okay,
yeah, we're not gonna jinx it.
Timothy says, I want to know if him and Shamrock ever talked it out. That's a good question. That's a good question. For those that don't know, there's a lot of history between them folks. I guess we'll find out.
Google it first, and if there's no definitive answer, then we'll ask him. We're not going to ask him controversial questions.
Listen, obviously everyone knows Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach Bad Boy, the UFC legend, the Hall of Famer, and all the former champion. I want to get to know him more.
You want to poke the bear?
No.
Poke the bear.
No.
All right, that's fine.
I'm not willing to
roll
the dice on my life.
Like Bad Boy are the kind of people I like to antagonize.
It's like, so what they like being a fighter? Is it fun?
Well, I mean, you don't gotta be a total pussy about it. But if there's stuff he doesn't want to talk about,
sure.
I'm gonna be like, hey, I heard you don't want to talk about this shit, so how about I bring it up?
Yeah. It'd be good. Anyway, so I got some news that we can chit chat about and speaking of games, because I see people talking about games in the chats. So this one here. Let's switch over to use your video again.
Is this the live Call of Duty that's coming out of Ukraine? Is that one? That game?
No, Radar. Just no. Just no.
It's the same map, dude.
Just no. Pete, you want to know what nationality is? He's Mexican American. Yes. That's his nationality. I've done my homework, so there are certain things that I know I can definitively answer. Timothy says, you poke the bear, I run. Don't need to outrun the bear, just need to outrun the rest of you. Fair point.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
understood.
Gaming. This one was a bit of a shocker to me. Have you ever heard of America's Army? Not trick question, not America's Army, the video game America's Army.
No. What is that?
Never heard of it. Okay. Oh boy.
Is that new?
I'm about to blow your mind. And people in the chat.
I'm not on camera. Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on camera.
People in the chat, please let me know if you've heard of America's Army. If you've played America's Army.
I did for like 12 years.
Good. Fair point. The video game, America's Army Proving Ground. Dude, this is a game that was released in 2002. It was a recruiting tactic. Where basically the Army paid and developed a video game to simulate what the Army experiences were. So like
it's called PUBG.
You would go.
It's the same map they're fighting in Donetsk right now.
You would go. Shut up. You would go
jump to the school. They got the best loot.
You would go to basic training. You would go you'd have to do rifle marksmanship. You could even go to airborne school and do jumps. You could do all that, and like then you would have to graduate. Yeah, you'd have to graduate.
PS2.
I mean, it was like This was early. This is 2002.
Yeah, it's like a PS2.
It was It was in PlayStation. It was a couple. It was in a couple places, mostly PC, but eventually it was ported to consoles. The Jorge says first test game came out in 2006.
I have gay friends. I don't want to.
You mean it sounds fabulous?
No, not fabulous gay, like the other kind of gay. Like even my buddies who are gay were like, "Man, that's gay. I don't want to do that." Anyway, so a video came about basic training.
Well, it was more than that. I'm just saying you had to pass basic training to even get into the game. Like that was the point. Like it was.
Oh, like so you got like when you show up to AIT, they hand you the video game, or like what?
No, this was a recruiting tool. This was something they released for free. They released it for free so people would play it and be like, "Oh, this isn't so hard. I could do this." And then they join like an idiot.
All right then.
So yeah. I have a lot of thoughts about the game. Like the history of the game.
Where okay, hold on. We don't need to talk about the thought. Where are you going with this?
The whole point.
Are they going to do another one?
No.
Do another one.
The whole point was that this was released 20 years ago, 2002. Right. That was when it was officially released.
Yes.
It has been sustained. It has been playable to today. You could still go and play it.
Where?
But PSN, Steam. I mean, if you can find an old disc that plays it, but it's all it's all on the cloud and shit. But they did release discs for this.
Can you? Is it like in the Xbox Game Store?
I think it is. Wow. I think it is. But here's the point of me bringing it up. America's Army Proving Grounds, the game used as a recruitment tool for the United States military, will shut down after more than 20 years on various platforms on March 5th. So if you want to try it out, you have a couple more days.
Well, can you download it? You should be able to download it.
You can download it. Yes. You can download it.
I'll put it on my Xbox.
You can download it.
Yes.
First reported by Vice, it will be delisted from the Steam, which is the PC, and the PSN, and online matches will cease to be hosted. Now, given that
online matches,
yes, you could play this online. There's a whole thing.
Wow, like like PvP kind of stuff, or like what?
Now
this sounds kind of.
And
why didn't we talk about this like a year ago? I've been fucking doing this. Is it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Who has anyone actually? Well,
I played it.
You played it. Yeah. How bad is it? How bad is it? Tell me how bad it is.
Well, remember, it came out in 2002.
Okay.
For 2002, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
And I think over the years they've made small modifications and upgrades and updates to it.
I'd hope so.
It's the Army.
A little DLC for it or something.
Think about the condition of the equipment we have in the Army, and that's about how well they kept up with this game.
Well, they changed uniforms 5 times, but other than that, it's fine.
We're probably still using the same uniform in the game.
Literally the exact same rifle. They still have
but that was the whole point of the game, was that it was true to life. Instead of this Call of Duty over the top, like let me call in mortar strikes with my thing here. Hey, we got Tito.
What's up, guys?
Hang on 1 second, bud. We're gonna finish this and we're gonna toss to you because you are
just go to break.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna toss this a quick break. We're gonna get Tito set up here, and then we'll be right back after this. Let me toss a break.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show is going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. I'm going to introduce you guys to my guest tonight. Oh man, this is one I've been excited for a while. Obviously, everybody out there, you've been excited for a while too. Been talking about it nonstop all night. My guest tonight is the former UFC light heavyweight champion. He's also a UFC Hall of Famer and arguably one of the greatest light heavyweight fighters of all time. But he's so much more than that. In addition to being an accomplished athlete, he's a successful businessman, an entrepreneur. He's run his own hugely successful clothing line, Punishment Athletic Enterprises, as well as his athlete management company, Primetime 360. He also raises money for children's charities, regularly travels abroad on USO missions to support the troops. And oh, did I mention, he's also had success doing movie and television stuff. Everyone, please put your mouth guards in and welcome to the show, the legend himself, the Huntington Beach Bad Boy, Tito Ortiz. Welcome to the show, man.
So much, man. Thank you so much for having me on our show.
Oh man, dude, guys are so excited. You have no idea. The fans have been ravenous to have you on. Right out the gate, I want to ask you, what kind of connection do you have to our military?
Well, I got a complete connection for the USO back in 2005. 2011, I go out every year on USO trips to go visit our soldiers in Iraq. I went from the Kuwait border all the way up to the Turkish border through those every year, either the summertime or dead in the winter when it was super cold right before Christmas. I think I got home on December 23rd a couple of times, where I thought if I would have missed my flight, I was going to miss Christmas, but I didn't. But it was for our soldiers, for our troops. And I've always recognized and respect them all the way up since then. You know, I think it really started from 2001 when the Twin Towers went down. And a lot of our men and women went to fight for our country in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the war continued on. Then we just pulled out here recently, which has just bombarded messages from a lot of my brothers who served of just, you know, why? But, you know, that's a totally different side of it. But one of the other things is I've visited Iraq, like I said, 6 times from the Turkish border all the way, or from the Kuwaitish border all the way to the Turkish border. That and going to almost every camp in the United States, almost every camp. Of course, in Japan, Germany. I've seen a lot of brothers, met a lot of brothers and sisters, and a lot of guys who are in Special Force out of Florida. I can't really say the names, so forth, for their protection, of course. But I've always been a home base. I've fought over the last 25 years in mixed martial arts, and I'm doing what those guys are doing, but without a gun in my hand. I'm going out and just preparing myself for war, preparing myself for everything that I believe in. That's my family, of being very successful. And I have a lot of things that I've learned through the camaraderie that I've given of traveling to Iraq and going to bases and meeting guys and meeting a lot of Special Force guys. We have a lot in common, you know, just the hard work, the dedication, you know, the perseverance, the sacrifices we have away from our families when it's training time or when it's time to go to war, you know, and I'm very thankful for them, even when the ones who don't know me, the ones who I do see in the airport coming back home, you know, I go out of my way and I'll shake their hand. I ask them their name. And then when I tell them my name, they're like, "Oh shit, you're Tito Ortiz." But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just a patriot. I'm a civilian that maybe if I would have served, I would have did very well. But my problem was I couldn't be told what to do. And I think as being a fighter, I was able to be very successful through hard work and dedication. So like I said, I have a lot of things in common with a lot of soldiers and Special Force guys that I've met. Even the grunts, you know, at the end of the day, it's the guys who just want to do well for this country. And that's what I've always grown up to, is to love this country, because no other country like this beautiful country of America, you know, there's nothing like her. And I'm trying to fight for my children. It's not about me anymore. I'm beyond the part of, you know, 50% of my life, you know, I'm 47 years old. I have twin boys, and my oldest son, Jacob, who's 19 years old, will be 20 on June 1st. He's at Arizona State University on a full ride for wrestling. He's worked really hard. It's paying off for him. I have twin boys that are 12 years old, Jesse and Journey, and I'm teaching them how to love America, how I was taught on television how to love America in the Reagan days, that, communism is just a day away, and communism is here right now, and it's very scary. And I can be a voice, but it's just my voice. I want to make sure that everybody has a voice and everybody speaks up, because we need to fight for what's in front of us before it's taken away. And we look back on what the hell did we do wrong? And 2022 is the year, this midterm. And like I say, I don't like to be political about things. I was in politics. I got into it. I saw the dirt. I saw the grime. I'm not that type of person. I'm an honest man trying to do an honest thing, of a hardworking, living this American dream, giving my kids what I never had as a kid growing up. And that's what's important. But this midterm is really, really important. People need to understand that, is to talk to your neighbors, talk to them and tell them of what we've gone through over the last year and a half, 2 years of how this country had just been dwindled almost to nothing. And it's scary, because through history, people need to learn through history. And that's how the left is trying to literally erase our history. And it's scary. Like I say, I don't have a huge voice as Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm a civilian that want to fight for my kids, want to fight for their future. And if I don't do it and I die and my kids go, Dad, what happened? I was saying, well, at least I tried as hard as I possibly could. I don't want to look back and go, well, I was hushed. I was canceled. And I don't care. And like I say, I do a lot of movies. And I haven't had a film in about a year and a half. It's just crazy. It's crazy how they want to cancel. And it shows that money is power, and knowledge is no longer power. Knowledge is something that they're afraid of, because when people get educated enough to understand knowledge and understand what's around them, understand their history, they start questioning things. If you dumb down the society, and it's scary because they've dumbed them down so much right now that they're able to wear a mask from in their car into a restaurant, sit down, take the restaurant down, think it's gonna be okay. And I'm in the beginning, when I actually went for city council here in Huntington Beach, I got the most votes in Huntington Beach history. I ran as a Republican, and I come to realize that there's rhinos and there's the Democrat, the lefts, and there's a strong right, and strong left. And at the end of the day, I'm neither. At the end of the day, I'm just a conservative man. I'm a true American. I'm a true patriot. And when I ran, I got to kind of pull the rug from behind the people's eyes. I got to actually look at the wizard. It was really crazy, because I wasn't a part of the agenda, and they attacked me for a good 6.5 months here in Huntington Beach, and they ran me out. It was either I continued and fought and got paid $700 a month for being on city council, or have nothing left, where my name was going to be demoralized and just forgotten about. And I ain't forgotten about, just destroyed. CNN, ABC, NBC, all the mainstream media were attacking me nonstop, saying that I was robbing from the government. It's just crazy lies. And I don't understand what President Trump went through on a small scale. But as I stepped away, I had to think about the future of my children, and I did that. I was born and raised, like I say, here in Huntington Beach, and I really love Huntington Beach, because it's a conservative city, very conservative city. It's the 4th conservative city in America. This is the Florida of California, but it's being taken over right now. It's being bombarded by the left, and it's very scary. But at the end of the day, I'm selling everything, and I'm moving to Florida. And I never thought I would have to do that. But for the safety of my children, of not wearing a mask in school, you're psychologically torturing these children. It's child abuse, what they're doing right now. And I won't let my kids do that. My kids are homeschooled right now, but I want them to enjoy high school in a normal environment. So that's why I'm moving to Florida. But, that's a long-winded why I support our troops. But at the end of the day, it wasn't for our troops and what they do for us, we wouldn't be and fighting for what we have here right now. You see how Canada is. You see how Australia is. They took away their Second Amendment. Take away their Second Amendment, and they can't fight back. Well, here in America, there's a good 300,000 of us, or excuse me, 300 million of us that hopefully we all are in possessions of firearms and are willing to step up and fight for the forefathers fought for that we have. And I mean, that's just me personally. That's the way I feel, that I've learned through my life, is how to love America. We love America like no other. And I've traveled the world because that's how much I love America. I've traveled the world and see how bad it truly was in other countries, the third world countries, and come back home and going, man, I appreciate what I have here, I really have here. And I teach my children that same thing. So that's a long-winded question. I say that's how involved I am for my country. That's how much my country means to me. And it's not just for myself, it's for my children's future and for my children's friends' future. And I hope other parents will hop on board with me and hop on board with the rest of conservatives that really care about the future, what's going to happen here in 2022. Because if anything goes south in 2022, after that, these Riggs elections are just, it's going to be nonstop.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. You touch on a lot of things. You touch on a lot of things, and I think there's a lot of sentiment that understands and agrees with you in that. Like, I can speak. I was an Army veteran. I traveled the world. I saw the good and the bad everywhere, and it gave me an appreciation of where I come from. I'm from New York City, born and raised. I was there when the Twin Towers fell. So that's a day that is personal to me, and obviously it's personal to all Americans. But it was my city, so it's personal. You do have already in the chats. Let me tell you, so many people saying, amen. Never lose your voice. Don't sell yourself short, Tito. Your voice is still strong. And one even that says, we would love to have you in Florida where freedom reigns. So there you go, man. You still get a ton of love.
That's already in the works. I actually leave on Thursday. I'm there for 5 days, going to look at homes. We're looking at about 25 homes. The people are amazing there. What I love about it is the camaraderie to neighborhoods or camaraderie towards just other individuals who are there. I was in Fort Lauderdale and I was doing my run for one of my fights, cutting weight. And I ran by and there's a lady with her kid and she's like, hi, how are you? I was like, that is really cool. How you doing, ma'am? Kept jogging. Next guy came walking by. He's like, how you doing, sir? I was like, this is how Huntington Beach used to be. And it's no longer like that. Everybody are so just have their defense up and they don't want to communicate with you. That's not how America's used to be. I mean, as I grew up, that's how Huntington Beach never was. I'd be riding my beach cruiser and I'm like, hey, bro, what's up? Hey, bro, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Everybody say, hey, how you doing? I mean, here even I live in Huntington Beach in the harbor, and we have our own private island. I mean, there's about 75 houses here on this island, and there's neighbors that say, hey, Tito, they go out of their way to say hi. But there's other neighbors, I go out of my way to say hi, they don't say a word. That's not how it should be. And in Florida, everybody are it's just Southern, I guess it is, man. It's nice. It's beautiful. I'm a big fisherman. Of course, business is a big future for myself. Business is very successful there. What DeSantis is doing there is an amazing just goal that he's done as governor of Florida. And I mean, you can't get more patriotic than being in Florida, so I'm all in.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, man, the comments are literally, like, I have all my own questions, but, man, I'm being inundated with the comments. So first thing from John, I'm seriously loving this dude. More with every sentence. Timothy, the passion in this man matches his size. And Scott says, where are you most active on social media? Because I want to follow and subscribe.
So all your followers, here's a good test for you guys. So I'm being shadow banned like no other. I've been shadow banned since Trump ran, 2020? I've had 350,000 followers now for 2.5 years. I gain 4,000 followers. I lose 5,000 followers. This happens every 2-3 weeks, every week sometimes. Of course, on Instagram is Tito Ortiz 1999. That's Tito Ortiz 1999. And when you click onto the follow button, it says, are you sure you want to follow this person? Because he has misinformation on COVID and other related things. I'm like, okay, so I do my research. I find out what ivermectin does. And all my friends, this is the beginning when it first happened, ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, what it does, and how it can kill COVID. I give it to my friends. I haven't been sick, and I've shaken over 500,000 hands in the last 2 years. I've been to UFCs. I've been to basketball games. I mean, everywhere I travel, Florida, doing movies, everything, all the people I talk to. And I've had the flu twice, normal flu. You throw up, fever, chills, the whole flu situation. But I get my friends who had COVID this medication, and they kill it. One of my friends, who's one of my best friends, rest in peace, Saul Solis, who was my trainer, he had COVID. I tried to give him the medication. The doctor said it wasn't a part of the protocol. 3 weeks later, he was on a ventilator machine. 4 weeks later, he was dead. It wasn't a part of the protocol to survive or save this person's life. And they put him on a damn ventilator and killed him. This is what they did to the people in America. This is how serious what they're trying to do to America right now. It's disgusting. It just makes me just cringe of how can we allow this to happen to our country. The sovereignty that is being taken away right now is just mind-blowing. And I was so involved into the situation, and we're talking about my Instagram, Tito Ortiz 1999, that I would show my information. I would show, and I'd show proof of what I've looked up, what I've shown. And then all of a sudden, all these things everybody's saying, it's a conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory. And I wrote them all down. And then all of a sudden here in this last year, all those things became true. So you know what? They're no longer conspiracy theories. What they are is spoiler alerts, because the shit is true. And that's why I have been flagged on Instagram, and I realize mainstream media does not like me because I speak the truth. And I mean, this goes back to, what film was that with Jack Nicholson and The Firm? I don't know. It was a Marine when he says, "You can't handle the truth."
Right.
Well, America and the world seems like they can't handle the truth, because what's going on right now is infiltration of our country, and it's scary. And I don't want to get too much more serious than that, but you know what I've done so far, and to be shadow banned or silenced the way I have, I know I'm doing something right. I know I'm speaking the truth. They haven't got rid of my Instagram. That means, you know, I'm actually speaking the truth. They really can't get rid of me unless they do, and hopefully they don't do it because you know. Well, but you know, like I say, TV on Twitter. Go to Cloud Hub. Tito Ortiz also. Cloud Hub's a new one. It's, you know, I have free reign there. I could say everything I've always wanted to say and not have no backlash, no erase, and no here's your warning. If you say another thing like this, we're going to erase your account type of thing. So that's once again cloudhub.com. Of course, on my Facebook is Tito Ortiz too. But you know, at the end of the day, it's the future of my children, man. That's all I'm trying to do is use common sense. Once again, just use common sense. That's how easy it is. Just use common sense. And I tell my children to use common sense. I teach my children how to question everything, you know. And growing up, you always have parents saying, no, no, no. Why not no? Because I said no. No. That's not, as a parent, that's not what I do. As a parent, I tell my children, no. They're like, why? Okay, well, here's your pros. Here's your cons. You use your common sense to make your decision. They're like, oh, that's not good to do that. I go, exactly. And that's how parents should be. But parents now are just so busy trying to make money, so involved into the making money, the working the 9-to-5 job, trying to support their family, that they forget truly about raising a family. You know, being a nuclear family that really needs to show the three things, you know, my 3 F's, as I call them: faith, family, and freedom. Yeah. Those are the type of things that I try to teach my children, and it's really, really important.
Yeah. No, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your candor so much. So many questions to get to, and I want to touch on. Obviously, everyone knows you as the UFC legend. You know, for those that don't, you know, you had your first big martial arts debut, UFC 13 in 1997. I mean, that's at a time when, you know, that kind of sport wasn't even legal in most states. Like this was
47 states. It wasn't legal.
47 states. So can you take me back to that moment when you decide, I'm going to step in this ring, I'm going to do this thing? Like what's going through your head in that moment? Why do you got to do this?
So at that time, I was 1997. I just won the state title at Golden West Junior College. And I trained with Tank Abbott, who fought in the UFC. I did all just nothing but wrestling with him. And I was like, I want to give this a try, because I saw a guy who fought him by the name of Jerry Bolander from the Lions Den. I said, I want to give this a try because he ended up winning the middleweight tournament, which is, was it 170 to 199. I wrestled 190s in college. I go, this is perfect. I want to give it a try. But at the time, I was on a full ride for scholarship for wrestling. So if I fought and I used wrestling as one of my martial arts, that I couldn't accept any prize money. So I'm one of the only UFC fighters in UFC history to fight for free. I fought for free on May 30th, 1997, because for a love of sport, for a love of, challenging myself to see what type of man I truly am, to see what type of character that I can carry. And I was hooked, hook, line, and sinker. I was all in. I loved it. I stopped the first guy I competed against in 22 seconds. And then I fought Guy Metzger, who was ranked number third in the world. And I almost beat him. I got caught with a submission. He won. He won the tournament. Great for him. But then a year and a half later, I became the world champion. So I lived as a fighter. It was a lifestyle. It was literally a lifestyle. That's all I did. Eat, sleep, and train. Eat, sleep, and train for 9 months out of the year. And the rest, the other 3 months, that was my vacation time, family time, time to enjoy myself. So, those are the type of things that I did. And I was very fortunate of it. 25 years later, I would never imagine that I would still have it in my mind to still fight, but that's what keeps me young. I just turned 47 here in January, and it's crazy to even think about that name or that number. And it's just like so many years have gone by, but it just seems like it's been like flash, quick. But I still have, I still have my speed, still have my strength. I've gone through some serious surgeries. I've had 3 knee surgeries. I've had lower back surgery. I've had 4 neck surgeries, and I've had a reattached retina through my career of 25 years. And my first surgery was in 2003. That was ACL replacement. But after that, it just was training so much, 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, 3 to 4 times a day. It was just grinding. But when it came to fight time, I knew I was prepared to die for my cause. And that's how much I cared about fighting. There was times that I fought that I had a fractured orbital bone, I had a ruptured disc in my neck, but I still fought because at the time I didn't make that much money through UFC, or they weren't paying me that much money, that I had to fight. I had no choice to take care of my family. And at the end of the day, I want to take care of my family the right way and not have to worry about the lights being turned on, food in the refrigerator, clothes that fit you on your back, shoes that fit. As a kid growing up, I went through that. I went through the democratic lifestyle. That's what my parents were. They always wanted hand-me-outs, give me from the government. And I didn't want that. I wanted the Rolls-Royce Phantom. I wanted the house on the water with the 38-foot fountain behind my house on the water. Those are my goals. And people say that just materialistic things. No, bullshit. Those are goals through my life that I was able to achieve, to sit in them, to ride them, to sit in a house like this and go, I made it. I bought my mom a home. I did that. I achieved the American dream. Now I want to teach the other youth how to do that. Not to be victims, to be victors. And I think that's really, really important right now because everybody wants to be a victim. It's all about equality. Equality bullshit. Equality, work your ass off, earn it, and make it happen. If you don't, then you could be left behind and miss the trail, miss the boat. And I was never that person. I was always working hard. As a kid growing up at 11 years old on Newport Pier, fishing to catch bonita and selling the bonita for $2 a fish, I could buy my lunch. I mean, that was dedication. That was hard work. Those are the things that I said because I wanted to work hard. I never wanted any hand-me-downs. I wanted hand-me-outs. I wanted to work for what I've always believed in, and that's the American dream. And that's what I'm still working for, and I won't stop until I die. And I'm teaching my children that same mentality, and it's very, very important as a father because I never had a father. My dad chose drugs over me, and I won't use that as an excuse. I won't use that as a hinder of my life. I won't use that as being a victim. I'm a victor because what I believe in and what I want to do is what I'm going to make happen. I don't need anybody to help me to make me do it or let me do it, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to get everything I possibly can. So when I go to bed at night, I go, you know what? I look in the mirror and I brush my teeth and I say, you know what, Tito? You've done everything possible to be a good man today. And you know what? 47 years old. What was it? It's been 47, 3 weeks, 2 days. And I can do it every day.
Let me ask you, because you kind of touched on something there that I'd love to get your take on. Something that a lot of veterans deal with, whether combat or not, or injured or not. TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, PTSD. You know,
Yes.
you have to see a lot of that in the fight world, right? You guys are taking ridiculous amounts of damage to your body, to your brain. Is that something, you know, what do you see? Is that something that is focused on? Do you see enough treatment going there and research going there?
Not enough research, and I think it really needs to go to our veterans. I think, not even the fight game. The fight game, guys can take care of themselves. If they take too much of an ass whipping, they get knocked out. Once you get knocked out once, the next 2, 3 times a lot easier each and every time. But I think for the veterans, a lot of them need to be taken care of more than what the government has been doing, and it's disgusting. Trump, what he did when he was in office was amazing, and he was going to do it for the next time, but it didn't happen. It was stolen from him, but. I do a lot of things for myself because I've had concussions where, I had the PSCD myself bad, where I don't want to leave my house. I put all the shutters down. I mean, I don't want to talk to my kids. I don't even want to watch TV. I just want to lay down and be in silence. And then I started doing this machine called CVAC. It's an altitude simulation machine. So it simulates altitude up to 25,000 feet. And it puts you in a realm. It goes from, 2,000 to 3,000 to 2,000 to 10,000, 2,000 to 20,000. And so it shifts like this. I was using that machine, and when I get out, I feel perky. I feel like, wow, it makes me feel better. But come to realize what I was doing was reproducing red blood cells in my body for my injuries to help, for injuries in general. And then I started using a hyperbaric chamber that helped out even more. So when I was reproducing these red blood cells, now I'm compressing those red blood cells and producing white blood cells. And so the endorphins and the dopamine in my brain, when I got out of it, was just on perk. I was like, wow, I feel so much better. I'm not depressed anymore. And there was so many things that I just a trial and error. I'm gonna see if this works. This doesn't work. Okay, cool. I mean, I was on medication, of painkillers, and Xanax and things like that. And that's all junk, man. All that shit is junk. Everybody should throw that shit away. I mean, if you go through a surgery, yes, I understand. But if you're doing something just to kind of put a Band-Aid on it, fucking rip that Band-Aid off, man. Rip that Band-Aid off and live life. Because when you live life normal, it's really important. And the best thing is, any of the soldiers that are on here, thank you so much for your service. I appreciate you like no other. But reach out, phone call, ask someone, ask a question, anything, everything. Reach out to me on Instagram, my direct message me. I mean, I have a lot of military friends that I've been able to meet over the last year through Real Warriors Foundation. We take them out fishing on boats. It would be like 20 guys on the boat. We go out tuna fishing. But just get an opportunity to change their mentality to understand that, maybe I'm not a victim. Maybe the country's not against me. Maybe I just need to step up as a man and just get through each day by either work training, get my endorphins kicking, going on jogs, do the type of things that you did when you did serve. And yeah, it is a little institutionalized when people do serve long tours. And I've learned by watching the examples of the guys who have been doing it over the last 15 years. I have a couple of guys who still serve right now who are special force guys, and they have some trauma. There's times they got to call me. They do got to call me at 4 a.m, 3 a.m, 2 a.m, and I accept their calls all the time, every time, without a doubt. And it's very important. And there's people out there who do want to help. Family members, best friends, people you might not even know that, once again, on social media, that just say, hey, just reach out. Guys on Real Warriors Foundation, those guys, what they do for soldiers is amazing. For veterans is amazing. And just to change one of those veterans' lives, just the mentality to feel like, that I'm a piece of shit and I did my service. And what am I good for now? Want to know what you're good for? You're good for to be a man of this country and to keep fighting to live this life. Because we only got one. And this life's really, really short. And we got to be very, very precious of what the time we have with our family, with our friends and everybody, and not be selfish amongst just ourselves. And I think that's important because I've reached out to a lot of them, and I continue to support one of my really good friends. Every time he travels or when he does his missions, he's like, I hope I see you when you get back. I go, wait, stop, hold on. No, when you get back, you better call me. He goes, okay. And when he's there and they do some pretty serious stuff, he shows me some pictures and I post them sometimes. And he was like, yeah, we got those motherfuckers today. Nice. It's crazy to think like that. They're trained killers and it's a snap of a button and it happens that quick and they don't even think about it. They go to the next one. My last fight was it December 6th, 2019. One of my Marine friends came, and then my Army friend, who I'm speaking about, came, and they're trying to, hoorah each other, and says, "How many kills you got?" My friend looked at him. He goes, "I don't know." My friend looked at me. He goes, "Dude, this guy's a killer right here." I go, "Yeah, no, he's a normal guy. He's a really good guy. He's just trying to serve our country. He's trying to do the right thing." To be involved with people like that, you understand how precious life is and how precious this country is. People are willing to fight and kill and just plunder to make sure that this country stays as solid as it is. And it's very, very important. I know, like I said, but through the PSTD, the things that people have gone through, the damage they've gone through, the psychological damage they've gone through, you need to get help. Do not just turn everything off and say, "No, I'm out. I can't do this." No, don't do that. That's weak. We're not weak. You didn't serve and be weak by doing that. No. And as a civilian, I'm speaking to you guys as a civilian. I hope I don't disrespect anyone. And I'm not going to apologize because that's for pussies. I'm not apologizing. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, guys, we could be men. We've gone through this far. We continue to do it. If you need to do it to help maybe a young guy coming up that needs some help, do that. Maybe an older guy needs some help. Do that. It's important. Humanity is about, helping others, reaching out to help others to be better men or women.
Yeah. And, man, I mean, you said so many good things in there. I have this thought. That, obviously you started, we talked about it. You started in late 90s and you've continued to fight. And you've fought some of the biggest names in the sport, from Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Vitor Belfort, Ken Shamrock. Like, do you think that your era of fighters, yourself included, will go down in history as like the best that have ever been? Do you think we'll ever see like generational talent like that ever again?
I hope so. I hope UFC respects the fighters that got them there. When UFC was sold in 2016, I believe it was, for $4.5 billion. I wish a lot of fighters like myself, Randy Couture, Chuck, and, Hoist Gracie, guys like that, get a little more respect, I think, because we were the ones that paved the way for the young fighters of these days now. And I understand that. And, with me and UFC, there was just some political stuff because I was always outspoken. I was always saying, you guys are making this much money. How come we're not making a big chunk of that? There's a lot of things that I went through that I kind of probably said, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But then I look back on it, I'm glad I said it, because if I wouldn't have said it, guys like Conor McGregor would have never made $12 to $20 million for a UFC fight. That would have never happened. It's business. I get it. I understand. Dana White's doing an amazing job as a promoter. It's all about business, and I get it. And now I understand it. Now I've been able to mature and, kind of understand everything. Before, I just said yes, yes, yes to everything because I never had anything like that before. I was a kid who came from the streets. I had nothing. I had zero. I mean, I used to cut government cheese or cut the green off the government cheese we would get, have food stamps, powdered milk. The shit I grew up with, I just never wanted that. So when I had an opportunity to make it, 25,000, all of a sudden 100,000, all of a sudden 200,000, all of a sudden 500,000, the 500,000 became $1 million, $1 million became $2 million. I was like, shit, I'm making really good money. But then I look about the money they were making, it was only about 4% of what they were making. Then I started questioning business mentality is, how come I'm not making a chunk of what they're making? And I remember having this conversation with Dana White, and I was at the Palms Hotel. It was in 2006, I believe. 2005. I remember sitting down with him, and we were watching Mike Tyson on ESPN. And Mike Tyson was talking about how he blew through, I think, 200 million. And it was the pay-per-views he were doing were making like 150 million or something like that. And I remember looking at Dana and questioning, going, Dana, when am I going to start making money like that? He goes, Tito, when you get 1 million pay-per-view buys, you'll start making money like that. Well, in 2006, me and Chuck Liddell fought, and we got 1.6 million pay-per-view buys. I made 3 million. And people think about that. That's a lot of money. Yes, that is a lot of money. 50% goes to the government. They take 50% right at the top. That's gone. The house I live in up in Big Bear, that has to be paid for. My training partners got to be paid for. All my training equipment need to be paid for. The camp is, 4 months. My bills at my home, my mom's home, my car, everything has to be paid for. So, at the end of the day, probably clear maybe 1.8, 1.9. That's great. But how long does $1.9 million last you? For some people who are very frugal, they can let that last for a good, 5 years, 6 years. But as those years go on, that stuff gets taken away. I live a very nice life. I have a very nice cars because I've worked for these goals to make these happen, because I want to be very, very comfortable, because I was a kid that got to taste dirt. I don't want to taste dirt. I don't want to live frugal. I don't want to live like, I can't spend a little money. When I die, where is my money going to go? Go to my kids? Well, the government takes half of it when that happens, and I don't want that to happen. So I want to make sure I teach my kids how to keep the money, how to make more money. And that's how I have tried to learn myself through my career of doing these things. And, but I guess it's my fault, because when I signed on the contract, I had to make sure that the things I wanted, that I did want. And there was times that I did sign a contract that I was like, damn, I knew I should have asked for more, because they said yes too damn quick. But, it's business. And I've learned, I've lived, and I'll continue doing it. It's been fun. It's been exciting. I've been having a great opportunity to meet a lot of people. I've had a great opportunity to help a lot of people, motivate a lot of people, and doing it with integrity. And I think it's important. And like I said, when I go to bed at night, I look in the mirror. I brush my teeth with a smile. I sleep with a smile. I sleep happy. I sleep very, very happy, because I never stepped on anybody to get ahead. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I try to teach my children what I tell them, and that's to be true Americans, and it's important.
Right on. Question from the chat. It's I don't know if this is gonna be a touchy subject, but Tim, so you can blame him. He wants to know if you and Shamrock, y'all guys ever settle the beef? You guys square?
Yeah, no, we settled the beef. No, so that's one of the great things about being fighters. And this is what I didn't understand about getting into politics. I got in politics, and they attacked me, and I couldn't fight back. I couldn't punch anybody in the face. Now, when I was with Shamrock, we attacked each other verbally nonstop. Then we got in the cage, and we were able to kick each other's asses. And after the fights were over, we shook each other's hand and respected each other, because of respect value. We understood what we put ourselves through to make this happen, or I won 3, 3 fights I won. He didn't lose any. He didn't win any. But you have that respect value for a person, because you know what he went through to get where he is right then. And I respect the man. I respect the man hugely. I respect all the guys. I think there's only one guy I don't respect. And he texted me a couple weeks ago, Chael Sonnen. And he texted me because there was another organization, Eagle FC. It's Khabib Nurmagomedov, probably pronounced his name wrong, who used to fight in UFC, and he has a new event called Eagle FC. And he says, your name's being added around here. And I want to text him back so bad. So, do I get to kick your ass again? But that's the only guy I dislike is Chael Sonnen. But all the rest of the guys I'm cool with. Chuck Liddell, I'm cool with. Vitor Belfort, I'm really cool with. Randy Couture is a true patriot, a real American. He's a guy. He's actually, inside joke, he's my dad. But we do some events in Tennessee, in Nashville. And we're at some bar drinking, having shots and shit. And some cute little girl walks up, and she's like, is there any possible way I can take a picture with you and your dad? I'm like, oh, yes, you can. Hey, Dad, come here. And it was Randy Couture, but that was our inside joke. But Randy's an awesome guy, an awesome patriot. I know he works a lot with veterans himself. But like I say, at the end of the day, we just try to do the right things.
Yeah, right on. Question says, on the lighter side, are there any funny stories about trying to make weight? I've heard some crazy things that wrestlers that have to do.
Yes, my last fight against Anderson Silva, boxing match on Triller. I cut 40 pounds in 1 month.
Wow.
And it was hell. I almost killed myself. I literally almost killed myself, because I wasn't in great shape. And once again, I didn't fight for 18 months. I didn't work for 18 months because of this pandemic that's going on. So I was at home every day, and then all of a sudden I get a call from Triller, and they asked me if I would fight Anderson Silva. But the weight was 195 pounds. You understand, when I answered that phone that night, I checked my weight, and I was 242. I said, okay, it was at 195. I go, I don't know if I can make 195. I go, I can make 200. He goes, well, if you make 200, we take 30% of your purse. I was like, shit. Okay, I don't have anything. I don't have much to lose besides the factor of I make some mistakes, and maybe I get knocked out, or maybe I get lucky and I knock him out. So I said, you know what, the hell with it, let's do it. I did it. Started training. I cut all my carbs, cut all my sugars. I got down to about 221, 222 in about 2 weeks. About 3 weeks, I was probably about 220, about 215. And then the week prior, I was about 214, and I got down to 200 pounds. And let me tell you, I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. I was so bad that I couldn't sweat anymore. I had no more sweat. I was in a sauna. I had no more sweat. I was running. I had no more sweat. I was biking. I had no more sweat. I'm like, I remember putting the bike inside the sauna and trying to sweat, and I couldn't sweat. I thought I was going to die, and I don't advise this for anybody at home. Please do not try this. Please do not do it. I've been cutting weight my whole life. I mean, at least this is my junior year in high school. I've been cutting weight, and that was one of the biggest mistakes I ever did. But once again, I was willing to die for my family, died to provide for my family. But that was one of the hardest weight cuts I've ever had. And I got stopped in 1 minute and 15 seconds against Anderson, who's a very superior striker. But I said, what the hell? Give me a chance. Right? We all got a chance. I can always look back and go, shit, I never did it, and I didn't challenge myself. Or I said, you know what? I tried it. It didn't work. I'll go back to the drawing board and try it again. And that's just the mentality that's in me. That's just the type of person I am. Is I'm going to try it. I'm going to fail. If I fail, I'm going to learn from it. If I win, I'm still going to learn from it. But you got to fail. Everybody has to fail. That's life. If you don't fail in life, you're going to live in a shell of being sheltered and not willing to take a chance. But I know a lot of viewers probably been out and taking many chances, but give it a try, man. Give it a try. Give it a try. Because at the end of the day, you could say, shit, brushing your teeth, look in the mirror going, shit, I tried as hard as I possibly could. Didn't work, or hey, look at that. That shit worked really, really well. Give yourself a chance.
Right on. All right. I got a question from an audience member who sent it in. So let's see if I'm going to play it, see if you can hear it. So let's see.
So my question is, as a martial artist myself, and yourself, obviously, if you had to use any martial art weapon, which one would you choose to train with?
That. Nope. Okay. No problem. I got it. I wrote it down just in case. So technology, love it. So his question is from Pete. Basically, it boils down to, obviously you're a martial artist, a mixed martial artist. If you were to train with a weapon, what weapon would you choose? What weapon fascinates you from a martial arts standpoint?
Well, I think close range is my 45 that's underneath my bed right now. Long range is my AR, and hollow points on all of them. And of course, making sure I have my vest on. But those are the two weapons. I have really big hands, like really stupid big hands. So 45 fits in my hand really, really well. But for non-lethal, will be Byrna. People go to Byrna.com. It's BYRNA.com. It's a non-lethal round. It's pepper spray. One of the rounds are pepper spray. One of the rounds are tear gas, and one of the rounds is a kinetic a shot. So if you need to break a window, you can hit it with a kinetic one. You want to get them out of the car, get them out of the area they are. You hit the next round, which would be a tear gas or a pepper spray. And those are non-lethal round. My fiance carries it. I carry it. I teach my children how to shoot it. And once again, it's a non-lethal round, but the pepper spray, it's going to cause some damage. And if any guys that are watching now, please check it out. It's a non-lethal round. I'm trying to get a lot of officers to use it because their hands are tied. They can't pull a gun on someone. But let me tell you, if you get hit by this Byrna shot, it's from Boston, so as they call it, it's a Byrna. It hits you, it's going to fucking put you on your ass. And it attacks the nervous system. So you're not be able to rack. It's almost like getting electrocuted, but you only get one shot with one of those with the electric gun. But this is it has 6 rounds. I usually put 2 kinetics, I took two tear gas and 2 pepper sprays. But my fiance carries it around and haven't had any problems. Haven't had to use it, thank God. But I think this would be great for a lot of officers for a non-lethal way to stop an assailant.
Okay. Let's see. Next one. Again from the chats. This is a good one. What do you see are the effects of guys like, Jake Paul getting into the boxing and the MMA, kind of these influencers, these celebrities. What's your take on it? Is it good for the business, right? Are we drawing more eyes, or is it kind of take away from the years of dedication to the guys that train in this fighting styles?
Well, I think it's a double-edged sword. For the guys who've been working their whole lives as kids, from 6 years old, boxing through their whole lives, sparring at a really young age, and they want to become champions. And they do become champions, but they don't understand the marketing side of it. That was something that I was able to understand when I became a fighter. Was I watch Hulk Hogan, I watch Muhammad Ali, and I want to find the happy medium. The spectacular. Of what Hulk Hogan did, saying your prayers, take your vitamins, brother. But Muhammad Ali did, he would talk his shit and he would back it up by knocking guys out. And in UFC, I was able to do that. Now with guys like Jake Paul, he's came from a totally different generation of, it was all about social media. They're doing all these YouTube stupid jokes and stupid things they were doing, but they build a fan base by that. So fans are either watching to get their ass kicked or they're watching to kick some ass. We had the same thing, but on a smaller tier because we didn't have social media back when I fought. Guys like Hulk Hogan, they've been doing it for such a long time that they were the main stars of that program. Guys like Ali, he's worldwide known because of the things he did, not just for the sport he fought in, but for his people. The things he did was amazing. And I got to give kudos to Jake Paul. I got to give kudos to both brothers, to what they've done in such a short amount of time. I think society in general has learned how easy it is to be a socialite, to be a person that's on social media, and all of a sudden you became a star out of it. You got all these influencers that are becoming, a couple $100 million or $1 million guys by just posting something. It is crazy, but at the end of the day, you got to be real to yourself and think about it's hard work, it's dedication. They got to do it. They got to do the work. They got to get up. They got to think of what's the next thing I'm going to do. What's the next big thing I'm going to do? I remember when, what was it? The older brother, Logan Paul, he grabbed the hat off of Floyd Mayweather and says, "I got your hat." That was the simplest thing to ever do in the world. But that thing stuck for all the way up to the fight. I got your hat. I got your hat. Everyone always said, "I got your hat." It's simple, but it's very catchy to people to watch because now they hate that guy. And now the boxers like, I hate that guy because what he did to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was the best boxers ever in boxing history ever. He's one of the best, hands down. I don't think there's anyone better. But he was able to compete at Floyd's level, which is, did Floyd really carry him and give the people a spectacle to watch? I think so. I think he really did. But once again, at the end of the day, this is the Roman days, This is the gladiators. We're showing people fighting and entertaining them, and it's crazy how just history is repeating itself right now. Literally, right now, history is repeating itself like no other, and people better stand the fuck up and start fighting. It's not going to turn out well, man. It is not going to turn out well.
All right. Well, let me ask you. Obviously, you did the boxing thing, but speaking to your MMA, your last 3 fights, 3 wins. Are you going to get back out there? Are you taking it slow?
I'll do one more this year. I think I owe it to myself. I'm all there. My timing's there. What I want to get out of life is not there yet because I have so much more to do. But in the fighting world, I think I'm at the end of it. I think I'll have one more. I think I have one more, and I would like to walk away winner. Of course, I could have did it before, but I'm too competitive. I like to compete, so I need to find something else to have that's so competitive motivation as I do in fighting with business. I think so. I don't know. By the end of before the summertime, I think I'll fight one more time and be over and be able to walk away in. And I thank all my fans. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys have done for me, have supported me. But I think there's something bigger and better for me to do beyond fighting. I really do. I think there's a lot more for me to do. And when I move to Florida, I think life's going to change for me and my family hugely, in a successful way, in a positive way. Just because a lot of my friends who live there already, it's easier. It makes it more capability for us to communicate and just make things happen on a bigger scale. And I'm just excited. I'm really excited. We'll see what 22 will finish off, because let me tell you, 2020, 2021 were shit. It was the worst years I've ever had in my life. I wouldn't say worst years because my kids were happy. I was able to educate them a lot. It sucked for me because I took the red pill, and I wish I never did. But I'm glad I did, because now I can understand what's going on in this government, what's going on in this country, what's going on in this world. And I'm not turning blind eye to it. I'm not turning cheek to it. You know, the human sex trafficking, the stuff's happening to the kids, just what's going on right now. I wish I could wake up a lot more people, and I think I am. And I think I've been doing a great job. I just wish a lot of other athletes, I wish a lot of other celebrities would step up and fight for everything that has been given to them through this country of America. And it's hurtful. It's really hurtful. It really just it blows my mind that people are willing to step up. You know, and I'm going to call this guy out right now, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, who's worth stupid amount of money. And in 2019, he did a huge thing for the troops in Hawaii, and I was very thankful for that. I was like, wow, this guy actually is a good dude. Then all of a sudden, he started talking about Biden, and people, once again, they talk about politics and so forth. And politics, those are the things they say you don't talk about. You don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics. Well, the reason that is because they don't want everybody to believe and to understand and to educate themselves on these things of politics, of what's going on, how money's transferred, where's things are going, who's the big dogs and everything. Don't talk about it. Well, you don't talk about it, then people don't learn. Well, that's not what I wanted. I did with my kids. I taught them. I showed them these things. I showed them. I said, what's wrong and what's right? And they would, every time they showed what's wrong, what was right. And it made me proud. I was like, you're having a good job. And religion is another thing. I have no problem against anybody of their rights, their beliefs, or their religion. That's their choice. There's their choice. And welcome to America. Welcome to humanity. That's the way it should be. You know, if you want to be a Christian, if you want to be a Baptist, if you want to be a Muslim, please do it, and do it respectfully. Treat a person the way you want to be treated. Don't treat anybody any different. And those are just mentalities, just common sense things that I wish that a lot of people would understand. It's very basic. It's so basic that people don't understand it. And I remember talking to my fiance in a town. It's like, babe, why don't all these people understand what's going on? She's like, they don't want to be wrong. They do not want to be wrong. They want to be right. And they rather sacrifice what they believe in than being right or being wrong. I'm like, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna say, you know what? I apologize. I'm wrong. I shouldn't have said that. You know, but if I'm right, I'm gonna stick to it. You know, I mean, there's been a lot of things that I've grown up where guys call me a black guy, you know, or the N-word. They've said I'm a wetback. They said I'm a honky. You know, I was on city council here in Huntington Beach, and I was a white supremacist. Tito Ortiz. Okay, Tito and Ortiz. That doesn't sound white supremacist. Sounds Mexican, right? I couldn't believe it. And people call in every week or every other week on our Zoom we had for city council and call me a white supremacist. I was just like, you people are so ignorant. Stop it. Stop it. And I got it worse was when Trump was running for his second campaign. I'm all about Trump. Trump is the American dream. I mean, everybody before he ran for presidency, every rapper and every actor, everybody's saying, you know, you're Trump rich and we want to be like Trump and this and that. And all of a sudden he became president and shit, it turned south quick for no reason, because they were losing control. The elites were losing control. And, you know, at the end of the day, I really just got to take care of what's my surrounding. That's all I can do right now. I can only take care of what's around me. It's my children, my family, my house, my friends, people I control. I mean, I've lost friendships. I've lost family members, not losing death-wise, but losing, I don't talk to them. I don't need to, because they believe in just one way. And they're not willing to open their eyes and just question things and ask questions and like conversate and go back and forth, because that's the dialogue between each other is important. And I think that's what's lost right now, because all of a sudden when you say one thing, you're a racist and you're a xenophobe, and it's like they make things up because they don't have an answer for anything. And it's crazy because that's lost now in society. And I wish I wouldn't be, but I'm not gonna let my children be raised like that. And that's why I'm moving to Florida. I'm moving to Florida because I want to make sure my children aren't raised like that, because it's sad. It's sad what's going on right now. I'm thankful for you, for guys like you, to allow me to be on your show, to speak on things like this, because it's important. As being a father, and I hope other parents are on here, if there is parents on here, to teach your children to question everything. Show them the pros, show them the cons. Ask them to question everything and question it to like literally, I want to know every little detail of this before I say yes or no. And that's important. Instead of saying, no, don't do that. And it's changed. But I mean, things like that just make me very personal and very at heart, where it's my soul, man.
Yeah.
This is my soul. This is my life. I'm 47 years old. I got maybe another 40 years to live, maybe longer, because my grandma died at 103. But I want to watch my children grow up. I want to watch them grow up and have kids and grow up and see it. Look, that that's Tito Ortiz's kids right there. That's what makes me happy. My legacy is not about fighting or movies and shit like that. No, my legacy are my children, where they're able to raise themselves and be positive role models in society to give back in a positive manner. That's what I'm trying to raise, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm already doing with my oldest son Jacob, who's 19, gonna be 20, at Arizona State University on a full ride. Smart kid, very articulate, very, very conscious about what's his surroundings. My twin 12-year-olds, they cook, they do their dishes, they wash their laundry, they do the lawn. They've been cooking since they've been 8. I want them to make sure when they become 18 that I can let them go on their own, and I don't have a question about it. I know they could take care of themselves. I know they could take care of a woman. When I open up the door for my fiance or open the door for the car, they start doing it. They're like, go out of their way to do it. And all of a sudden, just recently, it's like all of a sudden they're like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And once again, I've never came from a military background, but that's how I've always learned to be respectful to another person, is saying, yes, sir. Pleasure. And guys are like, look at me like, how old do you think I am? I'm like, that's not the factor of it, though. It's me being respectful value of saying, look you in the eyes and shake your hand saying, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Because it's lost now. People get on their phones, put their head down. Like, how you doing? They turn their head down, don't say a word, shake your hand. You don't like the side deal. And that's not being respected. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of us need to learn from this.
Yeah. A question did come up in the chats based on your comments, and it was just, so would you ever step into the ring with someone like The Rock?
Give me the chance. That'd be awesome. Let's do it. And all the money will actually be donated to our veterans, to take care of our veterans. How's that? I think we could raise a bunch of money and give it all to our veterans to take care of them. The ones that need help, the ones that need extra limbs, the ones that need stuff to help them through normal day of life of just getting through life. Let's do that.
All right.
That would be awesome.
We're gonna get our people on it. We'll have our people call your people. Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get this
done.
We're actually doing an event, and it's Freedom Fight that's in Florida, and it'll be March 20th, and it's through Cloud Hub that we're doing it. We're going to start doing it because we're trying to raise money for the Republican Party in Florida. So we're doing this right now, and maybe the next one is going to be in Mar-a-Lago, I think at the end of the year or next year. So I know, there we go. There's a main event right there.
I love it. I love it. So in talking about your career and wanting to, like, okay, one more, and we're gonna ride off into the sunset or whatever it is, which, by the way, someone did put in earlier when you mentioned retirement, they said, if you're going to move out from MMA, consider competitive shooting. You were saying you didn't know what the next thing was. Competitive shooting. There you go. That's a recommendation.
That'd be great. Competitive shooting is pretty smart. That'd be nice. I check myself at all times, and I learned how to fire weapons super fast. I did the 50 pace when I was in Iraq each time, and I'd hit the tree every time I did it. And they're like, Tito, you need to come here with us. And if people don't know that, of course, most of your listeners probably know that, is you walk 10 paces from the tree, turn around, fire. Walk 10 more paces, turn around, fire. Walk 10 more paces, turn around, fire. I did all the way to 50, and I hit it every time.
There you go. You got a leg up. And we're coming close to the hour, so I want to respect your time so much, man. Thank you for this. But in talking about your kind of retirement, I want to take like a 40,000 foot view, right? We're going to take way back. I mean, you're UFC Hall of Fame, circa 2012. You UFC light heavyweight championship with 5 successful title defenses, which was the most for, I think, at the time, and for like another 10 years before someone had 6. UFC 13, we talked about it. Light heavyweight tournament runner up. You've had knockout of the night. You've had submission of the night. You've had fight of the night 4 times. Fight of the year in 2006 versus Forrest Griffin. I mean, second most championship fights in the light heavyweight division, second most championship round fights in the light heavyweight division, second most successful light heavyweight title defenses in UFC history, second most consecutive successful light heavyweight title. Oh, wait, I already said that one. Second most wins in light heavyweight division championship fights, tied second most wins in light heavyweight division. I mean, the list goes on and on as far as accomplishments.
So, let's put credit where credit's due. So you keep saying second. So that number one is Johnny Bones Jones, and he deserves it because that guy is a monster. He deserves everything he's done. I got to give him a little bit of credit, a little shout out. John Jones, respect the guy. He's gone through some shit. He's gone through the grinder a little bit. But hopefully he can turn his stuff around, man. I really do. He's a good guy. He's a good dude. And, once again, the people who you surround yourself with is the people who you become. So if you want to become successful, surround yourself with successful people. You want to be honest, surround yourself with honest people. But if you want to be a piece of shit, be around pieces of shit because you will turn into those.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to mention about your career, I do want to talk about a couple other things, but as far as your fighting career, I just have to say, in my personal opinion, you have the best trunks of any fighter in history. I absolutely love your trunk. What's the history? Where did that come from?
So this was actually back in 97. Or no, yeah, 97. Actually, it was after 97. It was 98. Von Dutch, the company Von Dutch, just became, and my brother was a seller for him here in Huntington Beach, and he had flame shorts there. So you can knee a guy in the face in UFC on the ground. That was when it was legal. So in my mind, and I kind of got a little video game mind or a cartoon mind as a kid growing up, of course, was when I knee the guy in the face, I'm catching his face on fire. So that was all of a sudden, I was like, I'm using that. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. Flame shorts, bleached hair from Huntington Beach. All the guys, white guys here, they all have blonde hair. I was like, you know what? Bleach my hair, flame shorts. There's the Huntington Beach Bad Boy. I'm running with it. Let's see what happens. 25 years later, I can look back and go, that was a great choice. That was a really good choice.
That was a fun. I don't care. Like when I played like the UFC fighting games, like to create your own character. I have always wear the flame shorts. Always. They were so.
Punishment.com and purchase those shorts there too.
I'm gonna get me right after this. I'm ordering me a pair.
Yes, sir.
I do want to touch on like how much you really do for others. Raising money for children's charities. The USO stuff. When did that become important? I don't want to say when did it become important to you, but when did you want to make that a concerted effort? That yes, I've been blessed, and yes, I'm lucky, but I want to make sure I do for others as well.
I think it goes back to 2005. Well, I'll take that back. It started out with kids because when I was in high school, I was a kid who was in special education classes, resource classes. I didn't like to show up to school. I didn't like doing my homework. But then I got into wrestling, and wrestling saved my life. My true name is Jacob. Of course, our listeners probably know my true name is Jacob. And in the Bible, Jacob wrestled against an angel. The angel beat him, saved his life. Well, I found wrestling as a freshman in high school, and it saved my life. If it wasn't from wrestling, I would never know the dedication, the hard work, the perseverance that I learned through life was from wrestling. So I wanted to help out with kids, and I got into wrestling. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to be a resource teacher. I'm going to be a PE teacher, and I'm going to be a high school wrestling coach. That's what I want to do. And I got my degree. I got that done. But I come to realize instead of helping 30 kids in a wrestling room, I could help, hundreds of thousands of kids across the United States. Well, then as I became a fighter, people could see the hard work that I put in, the things I do for training, the stuff that I do to keep my weight down. I'm talking about my kids, about being a father, being a family man. Then I was helping not just kids. I was helping families. I was helping parents, single parents. I was helping men be positive and reinforce themselves with greatness. It's just one of those things that I think that through my career, it was always, I wanted to be a giver. I hate takers. People who are takers, I don't give them time of day. I'll have a conversation, yes. But after that, if someone is going to be a taker, I don't want nothing of it. I'm a giver. I've always been a giver. I've always been a person that want to take care of people around me. But I'm an Aquarius. I'm Aquarius to a T. But I think through the military, when I got to see, I went to Bethesda and Walter Reed in 2005. And I went to visit a lot of the troops that were in the hospital, missing limbs, missing arms, legs, you know, half their lungs, half their ribs. And these guys are talking about going back to war, going back to battle with their brothers. I remember going to lunch and I couldn't eat lunch because I was traumatic. I was scared. What did I get myself into? I remember flying from DC to Kuwait and going by myself, going like, what did I get myself into? We went there and I got to meet a bunch of awesome guys. The USO sat in their own little group at Chow, and all the military guys sat next to each other. I was like, can I go sit with them? Like, yeah, you can. Of course you can. Grabbed my rack, went up, sat down on my tray. Guys, like, one guy looked at me, another guy looked at me, guy across looked at me, and the kid was sitting next to me. He just was quiet eating his meal and just like didn't say a word. He was about 21 years old, maybe 20, maybe 20. And he looked afraid. And the guy's like, holy shit, Tito Ortiz, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, I'm here to visit you guys, man. What's up? But I took this liking to this kid to the left of me. And I forget his name, and I asked him, I go, how is it here? He goes, I don't like it. He goes, I'm afraid. I'm used to being home with my mom and dad. He goes, I don't know why we're here. I don't know what we're doing here. And it gave me that fear factor of understanding, like, wow, I'm in enemy lines right now. Anything could happen to me too. I was like, this guy's brave. And I remember putting my arm around him and going, hey, buddy, I go, keep your head up. Take it day by day and watch your surroundings at all times. And he looked up and he kind of smiled at me. He's like, no one hasn't said that to me at all. I was like, see, this is what we need, is have a brotherhood where you guys talk to each other and communicate, to be there for each other. And every year that I went back since then, there's always, and I remember the 2 years after I went back, and at Walter Reed, one of the guys who had one of his legs missing was in bed. He was like running around. He's like, Tito, yo, Tito. I looked over. I was like, what's up? He goes, you remember me? I go, yeah, what's up, dude? He goes, I'm leaving today, man. I just stayed just to say what's up to you. Things like that, the camaraderie that I was able to give as a civilian, as a fighter, as someone who they looked up to, God has given me a gift. I'm very thankful of it, but it's through the hard work and dedication that I've given to myself and my own mind and my own family to earn things that I have. Nothing's ever been given to me. An opportunity's been given to me, and I've ran with that opportunity. And I'm very thankful to have the things that I have. But at the end of the day, what I do have, faith, family, and freedom. This is America, and we can't lose it.
Beautiful, man. That's beautiful. All right, I got one last for you. One last random question. This is coming out of nowhere. You ready for this? We're gonna finish strong. Yes. You were in a 2000 video game as a playable character called Razor Freestyle Scooter. Okay, so I get the UFC stuff. I get how did you end up in a Razor Freestyle Scooter game?
UFC sold my likeness and they used it. I didn't accept any money from it. That's one of the things the UFC. Once you sign on the dotted line, they own you. That's it. That's my answer. That's literally what it is.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing about it until one of my friends was like, dude, check this out. He showed me a picture. I'm like, what's that from? He's like, dude, this Razor game. I'm like, I was being used. I didn't even realize it. But hey, it is what it is. I signed the dotted line, right? I can't complain about it.
Lessons learned. Read the fine print.
Very important. Everything.
Read the contract. Tito, man, this has been absolutely more than I could have ever imagined. I just want to thank you so much for being on tonight. You've been amazing, man.
I appreciate it, man. And all your viewers, of course, all your soldiers, military, veterans, thank you guys very much. I love you, man. You guys can reach out to me, Tito Ortiz, 1999 on Instagram. Please direct message me. If you have any questions, or if you're just on Facebook, it's Tito Ortiz. If you're on Twitter, it's Tito Ortiz. On Cloud Hub, it's Tito Ortiz. I'll answer your questions. I always answer everybody's questions. I've been doing it since 1997. I don't have an assistant doing all my shit. I do my business. I have an attorney to read the contracts. I do all the negotiating. I do myself. At the end of the day, I know it's done right because I'm the one who did it. When I speak to you or I text you, it's me talking. It's not somebody else that I hired to do my emails or I do myself, because what comes out of my heart, I know I have an effect on your life. That's important because you guys are loved. I respect each and every one of you. Thank you for serving our country. I wish the rest of America thought the same way. And the guys who were in Afghanistan, stay strong, brothers, sisters, stay strong. That's all I gotta say is stay strong, because this country, I believe, will turn around. I believe it will turn around. I believe in positive mentality. I believe in positive reinforcement. Self-fulfilling prophecy of what's going to happen in the future. What's going to happen in the future is to be something great for this country. And just keep with the fight. So I say keep with the fight. I'm all in. So thank you guys once again. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful night.
Awesome. Well, we're breaking up a little bit there at the end, but thank you, Tito, so much. We're gonna toss to a break, guys. Hang in there, and we'll see you right after the break. Thank my guest, Tito Ortiz. Thanks. Hang on.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show is going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, everybody, we're back. We're back. Whoa. Really sorry, I'm very thankful that we went the whole interview, no problems. But then, right at the end there, it just fizzled out and popped. Even as I threw it to break, me and him lost connection. So awesome. Tito Ortiz came out. He unapologetically himself. That's I'm willing to say that. Look, agree, disagree, right, left. I mean, we don't really do the politics stuff here. We don't, that's because I'm of the belief that whatever you believe, that's your belief. You're allowed to have that. You have the right. You have the freedom. If I disagree, doesn't matter. That's my right. But good for him. He's unapologetically himself.
Absolutely.
Being that outspoken, you're gonna get people that agree with you, and you're gonna get people that disagree with you. So
right.
The
one takeaway I took from that right away, and I'm glad he recognized this and was like, people around me don't think the way I do. I'm out. Bye. See ya.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He was like, I want to live the way I want to live, and if you don't like it, I'll be wherever. So
yeah. That's
cool. That's good on him, man. And very candid.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the most candid interviews we've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do appreciate him coming on. I wish I could have told him that in person, but we had some connection issues, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fantastic. And it was
eye-opening. We got to learn a lot about the guy. And honestly, I had so many more questions. He wrote a book. I wanted to talk to him about a book, and he's done a bunch of TV appearances. He's done movies. He just starred in a movie back in 2021 called Robotic Army? Something. Robotic something. Yeah. Anyway.
That was another one. Someone put in there, I was like, yeah, keep him on for another hour. And we could have and covered so much.
And not covered all of it. And still not
dude's
covered
had
all
an
of it.
amazing career. He has had one of the most amazing careers, eclectic careers. From UFC fighting and boxing and being in video games and being in movies and doing all of these things and all his charity work and politics and all the things he's done.
Yeah.
Arthur. Come on, dude.
In and out of the ring, he's led a very interesting life. And
coming from humble beginnings.
So very humble. like most
That's
hungry
amazing.
fighters, right? They come from nothing and they build an empire. And honestly, you know, yeah, man, fascinating story.
Absolutely.
I mean, we didn't talk. He likes to play poker. You know, he
Yep.
he placed in a big poker championship thing, and he placed in the top 20, I think. So you know, and I wanted to ask this, but it didn't feel right in any of the segments of as we talked. Is that the whole bad boy persona? It in getting to talk to him and seeing how he is, and admittedly, he said, you know, he's changed over his career and he's learned things and whatnot. But you know, he talked about the way he talked. It made me feel that was not a gimmick, but in the sense that he portrayed that character, much like wrestling,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson isn't The Rock. I mean, obviously he's done it so long that it just is become personal, but it's that was a performance meant to enhance the narrative, you know, and to push ticket sales and things like that. You know, like he said, he believed the shorts, you know, it was like kicking him with fire and the bleached hair, and he said the bad boy persona. I'm curious how much of that is really him and how much of that is I'm putting on a performance. And I know I have, because like in wrestling, there are guys that you're the heel, you're the bad guy. It is your job to be booed. It is your job to not make friends out there. And I almost feel like he took that personally of like, I'm going to be the heel. I'm going to be the guy that people either love the bad guy or that they hate me because I'm the bad guy. And,
well, and I wonder too, because that was what do you say? He's 47. Is that right? And so that was near 30 years ago. You know what I mean? 25 years ago, 27-ish years ago. So he was like 20. You know what I mean? 20, 25 maybe?
22 when he first stepped in a UFC ring.
So I mean, like, I can imagine as high energy as he is right now at 47.
Imagine with that testosterone boiling.
Right? When he was at, you know, in his early 20s, I couldn't imagine. He'd been so hard to keep up with. He was part of it tonight was like herding cats because he's just so high energy and so go. Could you imagine when he was like, when he's in his early 20s, it'd be impossible to keep up with. Of course, he probably had a little bit of a bad boy streak and a little bit of an attitude. Hell, I would have. Could you imagine being that young and having the drive? How driven he was.
Remember being a young, arrogant paratrooper, right? We're better than everybody else, you know?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, and he's like legit, like I'm the best fucking UFC fighter on the planet. Yeah, of course he was. He had a. Yeah, when Tito hit the ring, he was the youngest title winner. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just couldn't imagine trying to keep up with someone like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably did calm down a little bit, quote unquote, because he's still really high energy. So I imagine, he was calmed down a little bit since then. Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? That'd be so fun just to be a fly on the wall for something like that when he was that age, just to try to follow him, be like part of his entourage for a night. Fuck, that'd been awesome.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
it was super cool. I'm glad he took time out of his. I'm glad that he made that happen. I know, you know, for a while they were like, oh my god,
it was a question. It was a toss up, but I think it was worth it. I think it was worth it to take a peek behind the curtain.
Yep. And so if you listen to this, hey, thanks Tito, thanks for coming on, man. It was great.
Yeah,
really awesome. Do appreciate it.
So right before we cut to Tito,
yes,
we were talking about a story, and I just wanted to wrap it up for continuity's sake. I just wanted to wrap up the story. We were talking about America's Army Proving Ground, the video game that was a recruitment tool for the United States military that came out back in 2002. Tito Ortiz was already a champion when this game came out. It was, to give context, it was the America's Army is a first-person shooter released in 2002, developed and published by the U.S. Army, video game made by the Army. The game was explicitly designed to encourage American citizens to join the United States military and represented the United States government's first major use of video games as a recruitment tool, as well as being a free-to-play game long before the term even existed in the video game industry. It released 3 major iterations throughout the years, updating content and gameplay for audiences of up to 20 million players. The latest version, the last time they did a big update for the game, you were asking about this earlier, how often it was updated.
Yes.
The last major update was 2013.
Wow.
So 9 years ago was the last big update. They do tweaking here and there, but the last big version release was 2013.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so over the interview, I don't have a lot to do. I'm on the chats was really about it. So I downloaded the game and I've been playing it while you were gone. I'm already promoted to specialist, but I'm a 42 alpha. So kind of sucks, but
oh god,
I'm not sure my cutting score as a sergeant yet. I'll let you know when I.
Oh my god! It's like I'm an 88 Mike. I've just been driving refueling trucks around in circles.
Yeah, I don't even know what that game's called, but you always see it. I scroll through Facebook videos and they're driving like these trucks through like these crazy mountains and shit. I'm on that part. I'm an 88 Mike, and that's what I do. And
I love it. Like I've been promoted to sergeant, but I've also been demoted 3 times. There was a DUI incident.
My guy has a drinking problem. And,
I'm on my second divorce.
So
that game is too real.
when my character was at Bragg, he got busted down. He got drunk at Sharky's, and
there was a steroid incident. There was a whole thing. I had a one of those
time he's made special.
Yeah, I had one of those prostitution rings going. It was a great side hustle. I had lots of money, but very low rank. Anyway, okay, we went way too far on that one. It got real.
Crazy though, still has BDUs on it. I didn't even know it was a thing.
We went real on that one. But anyway, the whole purpose of this was that 20 years after the release of this, talk about getting a bang for your buck. Whatever they spent on it. Public support for the military has been waning, obviously. So according to a 2021 survey, yeah, listen to this. According to a 2021 survey by the Ronald Reagan Institute, in the years since America's Army Proving Ground has launched, the military has found new, often controversial ways to recruit young adults to engender a familiarity with the military from a young age, such as Twitch streams and official esports teams. It's true. The military is getting.
It must be the Air Force doing that, because the Marine in me can't even understand half those fucking words you just said.
Let me
I know what esports teams are.
Let me marine it up for you. Basically, big military, get real smart, get young kid, be in military. Got that? That work?
Ooga.
Can I get a hoorah? Anyway, so yeah, after 20 years, they're finally putting that thing to bed. God only knows what will end up replacing it, because I'm sure. Well, I guess the esports teams and all that's what they're out there doing. Possibly. That to
possibly.
Yeah, that's what they're doing to encourage. There was so my wife runs the Army 10-miler.
Oh.
Your wife runs the esports team. Yes. Nice. No, my wife runs the Army 10-miler that happens in DC.
Wait, she runs it like she's a runner, or she's in charge of it?
Fair point. She is a runner. She's a run. There's a great song lyric where it's like, I run the marathon, but I double run the marathon, because he runs it and he also runs. Anyway, there's a funny lyric.
Is that Run DMC?
No, that's Andy Sandberg in The Lonely Island.
Oh, anyway, I love Lonely Island. It's my dick in a box.
Yeah. Listen to this song. I Run New York. It's a great song. So anyway, she runs in the DC Army 10-miler, and last time we did it, prior to the pandemic, the Army drove this giant semi-truck into the kind of there's a festival grounds where they do all there's companies promoting all their energy drinks and their sweatbands and all that. And this thing opens like something out of the Terminator. It's like, and it is a mobile gaming rig. It's an Army branded. It's the Army's esports team. Like they put out plush seats. They got PC setups, monitors, headphones, and you sit there and they're like one screen's playing like Smash Brothers and the other one's playing like Halo, and then it's crazy. And you're like, what are you doing? And the guy's like, oh yeah, I run the Army esports team, and he's in uniform. So I'm like, wait, so you're like in service? He goes, yeah. I was like, and this is what it's like when you see these guys like in the Army band, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm a 72 whiskey, but I spend most of my time I'm in the band. You know what I mean? Or they play guitar or whatever it is, where it's like
they get promoted to staff sergeant and then just like play guitar.
Yeah.
And they've been in for like 2 years.
Basically.
Or like the French horn or some shit.
Right, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, it blew my mind where I'm like, there I was like, how many of you guys are there? And there's 5 of us, 6 of us, whatever. So I'm like, and I asked this guy candidly, because I'm like, look, man, I'm out, I'm retired, I'm injured, whatever. I was like, candidly, I'm like, obviously you guys, this is a recruitment tool, right? He's like, yeah. I said, and are you selling the idea that these guys can join the Army and play video games? And he goes, yeah, that's the idea. He's like, the idea is like, look at me, I'm in the Army, but I play video games full time. And I'm like, but how many of them are you? And he's like, well, there's 5 of us. And I'm like, so there's no way anyone who signs up here is ever gonna have, because there's 5 positions. But the Army's done that
for years, though. Like, oh, I'm gonna be my buddy, one of my best friends is he's an old drill sergeant, right? And he's like, you do not believe all the guys that come to fucking basic training. I'm gonna build an Army wrestling team. I'm gonna build an Army baseball team. I'm gonna build an Army basketball team. But there's like fucking 20 people in the whole fucking Army on the baseball team. Exactly. No, bro, you ain't made it. Sorry.
Exactly. Every paratrooper
you is a paratrooper now. Sorry.
Every paratrooper that thinks they're gonna be on the Golden Knights, right? Yeah. Like, oh, that's my name. I'm gonna be one of the skydiving parachute team. And like, there's 7 of them.
There's 7 of them. They're all master sergeants. Not gonna take the fucking private to go do it. Sorry
exactly.
About it.
Anyway,
those guys are all like fucking Rangers and been to Halo school and shit. Like, you ain't doing it, buddy.
Yeah.
Ice might, but
Ice. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Yes.
It has been just a wild night tonight.
It has been you know what though? Fuck it, dude. It's the deuces.
It's been
the deuces.
It's been interesting. It's been
a deuces of a show.
I wanna thank each and every one of you guys that were hanging out with us, asking lots of questions, being very engaged. You guys, pat on the back.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for helping us out with that, because like we do this for you.
We do it for you.
We said this before. We do this for the guests, for our audience. Yeah. And we want you guys to interact with each other. So asking questions of our guests is exactly what we want you to do, and we appreciate it.
So I will say the month of March might be one of the best months of guests slated currently that we've had in Pop Culture Warrior history. Like the biggest guests, just
because we've now had a UFC champion.
Yeah, we've got we're about to go on a run. Just
we've had Donald Duck, the Donald Duck, dude. Seriously, that's
Donald Duck, not the original, but the current.
We've had a third of the Donald Ducks on.
We've had 33% of the world's Donald Ducks on.
We had Louis Anderson on.
The list is
just phenomenal.
Just in the last couple of weeks, I mean, we had Robbie Amell, huge star, know, in the CW
Great
shows,
guy.
in Upload,
nice
in
person.
his own movies. And I've got to tease. I've got to tease a couple.
Don't do it.
You don't think I should?
Maybe a little bit. I'm just every time we do this.
Yeah, then somebody pulls out, or I mean,
they got a new thing going on, or they got something. And, when people pull out on us, all over, when people pull out on us,
I already know
it's generally because they're like on a project.
Yes,
it's not because they don't want to talk to us, so they just ghost us. They're like, "Hey, sorry about it. I'm in the middle of filming. We got backed up, and because almost everybody now comes to us and says, "I want to be on your show."
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz came to us and said, I want to be on Pop Culture Warrior.
Yeah.
I want to talk to CQ because he's awesome.
I will say, I do a lot of outreach, right? I do a lot of outreach, but in doing that, I have created very good relationships with a lot of the publicists and managers and agents. And so now the guests that we're booking are 50% people that I've reached out to, and about 50% people that were like, hey, this person wants to be on your show. We think this would be good for our person. I'll tell you what, I never talk about guests that are pending. I only ever talk about a guest that says, this is the date, this is the time. Now, I hope that you guys appreciate when I give you this information, it's because we got it in our calendar. We've booked it. We've locked it in. If they don't show up, that's on them. Like and with all respect, because scheduling things happen. A lot of these guys are in the middle of projects and dates move, or they get called back for reshoots.
Or they have to reshoot.
Yeah. You got to do ADR.
Reshoot's been a couple of them. Yep.
Or they get called up to do something else. And like, they're not going to be like, no, I'm not going to take that $5 million acting job because I've got to go on Pop Culture Warrior next week. Like,
yeah,
they're not going to, like, come on. We're all adults here. We're all adults. We know what it is.
Yeah.
But I will say,
make that money.
I will say the next 4 confirmed. That means we have booked the date, we have booked the time, and they said yes, and we'll be there. We're working on graphics already. If they pull out, they pull out, but these are confirmed.
If they pull out, they make a mess.
They make a mess. We clean it up. We figure it out.
Clean up and drive on.
And let me say, there's a laundry list of people that are pending, that we're still looking for dates. We're trying to do scheduling, but these are the 4 that have been confirmed. Tuesday, March 1st.
Yes.
Kevin Bigley. Kevin Bigley is on the show Upload. He co-stars with Robbie Amell.
Yep.
Dude's awesome. He actually does a lot for veterans. Actually had me on his Instagram. He did an Instagram live interview where he interviewed me. And I said, hey, the only way I'm doing this is if I get you on my show. And he said, all right, bet, let's do it. So he'll be on March 1st, 9 p.m.
Yep.
The 8th. Oh, the 8th I'm excited for. I want to make sure I have this.
I'm always excited for an 8th.
Really? Really? That's what we're going with?
Oh, you left the door wide open.
Okay. Okay, not him. Hang on. Because he's going to get booked in April. We're still working on a date.
This guy. Who's this guy?
Sorry. Nope, not him. Where is it? Did I lose it? I haven't put him in the calendar. That's why.
Oh.
Oh man, I can't believe he's a great actor. You know what? I know. I can just pull it up. I have. I'll do it this way because I know who it is. I just.
Anyway, okay. What's going on the 15th? The Ides of March.
The Ides of March. Okay, so the 15th. We'll circle back to the 8th. The 15th is a really cool one, man. I've done his podcast twice, and he's finally coming on mine. Jeff Strucker. You know who that is? Yeah. Tell the audience. Tell the audience who that is.
Oh, the guy from Black Hawk Down?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, way to really sell it.
Big brain on radar, dude. What do I got to sell?
Jeff Strucker,
dude's a badass. Dude's a real life badass.
He's a living badass. I hesitate to say legend, but he's an amazing guy. Incredible story. He does this awesome podcast called Unbeatable, where he interviews people who've faced tremendous odds and come back. He's been doing it for a little bit now. I'm the first person he ever invited to do a second podcast. Wow. So I'm the only person he's invited back to his show for a second episode. He likes, we're that cool. You know, we're cool like that.
Hey, that's cool.
So we're gonna, you know, obviously we're gonna talk about the Battle of Mogadishu. We're gonna talk about, how they translated that into a movie and all this stuff.
Because he played big roles in the movie, like in real life in the movie, right? Like he wasn't. I mean, but as far as like
Yes.
technical advising and stuff.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited. Excited. I love the behind the scenes stuff when we get people like
we're
that.
We're gonna get all the tea. We're gonna spill all the tea.
Good.
Circling back, March 8th. So the week prior to that is Bradley Constant. Now he's not the biggest known actor, but you know the show Young Rock that just came out. He's the kid that plays the teenager version. So not the little one, not the adult one. He's the teenager one, which he's not a teenager. He's 23 years old, so he's an adult.
Whatever. Does he have direct communication with the regular Rock?
I mean,
because we have a
yes. We're gonna talk about that. All right. We're gonna play him a clip from this week's episode. I want you to run this back. I got a connection. I want to run this back now, and then lastly, to round out the month, which the last day, which is the 28th, is I'm holding that for somebody. But the 22nd is a pretty cool one. Breck Bassinger, who is the title character of the show Stargirl. So if you know the CW show Stargirl, she is Stargirl.
Cool.
So she will be on for the 22nd. So we are when I say we're amping things up, we're amping things up. And I literally, I'm looking right now at 8 different emails with people that are like, yes, we'll do it. And now we're just circling dates. We're just scheduling dates. So the next couple of months, people, buckle up. It's going to get wild. And yes, Scott, I see your comment in the chats. He's like, what about Sam Witwer? That was one of those where we had him and then shit happened, but they're circling. He's in the storm of trying to find a date because he does convention appearance. He's shooting, not shooting, but he's at a convention. Then he's doing a talk show, and then he's shooting. So we're trying to find an opening. And honestly, I told him, I was like, look, we'll record it. Let's just, if you get an hour on a Thursday at lunchtime, I'll take it. We'll shoot it, and then we'll play it back. But they're actually insistent that they want to do it live.
Yep.
I'm blown away. To this day, we haven't had a person take me up on the offer like, hey, man, I'll shoot it around your schedule and we'll play it for the audience, during the show. Jeff is a perfect example. God bless Jeff. He has a hard, fast rule. He does no business after 5 p.m. No business. No business. That's his family time. That's his me time. That's all that he does. When I've done his podcast, always before 5 p.m. He is breaking that rule so that he can do Pop Culture Warrior live because he wants to do it live. Now we're gonna split the difference. We're gonna caveat in that day we're gonna do the interview at 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. We're gonna flip the show, do an 8 p.m. interview and then a 9 p.m. regular, headlines and stuff. But God bless the guy, willing to break his rule of I don't do business after 5 p.m. Again, not me. I wish it was me being listen, motherfucker, you're either going to do it live or you ain't going to do it at all. I wish that was me, but I'm please, sir, I'll do it around your schedule. And they're no, man, everyone digs the live element. They love the audience. They love talking to you guys. They love participating. They love what we do and how we do it. And they want this experience. This is the experience they want. So yeah, I'm very excited. If you can't tell, I'm extremely excited because I'm gonna do my best, Tito. I'm really excited because it's the thing. You don't understand. Everything's happening. Things are coming together. I see it. I'm doing the best I can for my audience. I'm building up a brand. I'm pushing. I will die for this show. I will die for this show because I believe in it. There you go.
I love it. You know what though?
I'm obviously up way past my bedtime.
You don't sell it, dude. You don't sell it the way he does.
I'm
sorry. You know, buddy, I love you, but you do not have half the energy.
Not even half.
He's brought to.
Dude
is amazing. Is amazing.
Not even
close. I said, he's intense, dude. I love it.
Oh man. Okay, Mr. Radar.
Yes,
we've come to that time in the night.
We're past that time of the night.
We're well past that time of the night.
I've got the yanny yawns going, dude.
I'm right there with you, man. I need water.
Yep.
would you please tell the fine folks at home what they can expect here throughout the week on WTF Nation Radio?
Well, tonight you've been listening to Pop Culture Warrior with Tito Ortiz, the freaking UFC champion, was on with us tonight. Super energy, super awesome dude. Thanks for coming on, sir. Now, Tuesday night is amazing, but Wednesday night is better because that's our day off. Don's a baby. Day of no scheduled activities. Thursday, the night after Wednesday, is Sorent's time. All the sergeant-y things. National Guard, big Army, reserves, retirees. There's a little, I don't know, thing they might talk about in Ukraine. So they might be talking about that. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But other Army things too. Don't let the war. Just, the new war. It's got that new war smell. We still have other problems in the Army. Some ACFT things are going on, and it's a lot. So check them out. Spanky Ice, Thursday night, Sorent's time. Friday Night Freedom. Great show. It's Kaz and Pookie, and they're awesome. Okay. They're going to bring you all kinds of cool shit, funny stories. You name it, they talk about it. It's very eclectic. It's very fun. It's a good show. Now, Saturday, Sunday, my second favorite days of the week because it's the weekend. I love the weekend. I love my time off, baby. We going to be down the weekend. Now, Monday night, the Monday edition. It's Ice and Shipwreck. Or Mom. I don't know when Mom's coming back. Mom had some surgery. She's doing well. She's convalescing. She's got a time off. So anyway, Shipwreck we had that awesome guest last night. Talking about that thing, the Ukraine thing. It's kind of a big deal. We should probably take care of the new war smell. You gotta check it out. So anyway, very informative, current events, good show. Tuesday night, the day after the Monday edition, is back with us, Pop Culture Warrior, with him, the Pop Culture Warrior CQ, and the Unpop Cultured Me Radar.
Very good. Applause all around. And joining us next week will be Kevin Bigley. It's going to be a great episode.
Kevin Bigley.
Super, super excited.
Yes.
Guys, we love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This has been, I feel like I went 10 rounds tonight. I feel like I put up for the championship. But guys, thank you so much, as always. And my voice is giving out. With that, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Say bye, Radar.
See you next Tuesday. Bye, Radar. See you.
Shots, guys.
Doc!